Going live jump scare.
Hello, people.
You thought we wouldn't be on time. You were wrong. However, I've forgotten to organize my chats, so I'm not ready yet. But now would be a good time to insert ads. All right. All right. What are you looking for?
I'm checking out the USB cables.
I see.
Hello. I require the dongle.
The dongle.
Yes.
The A to C dongle.
That one.
Oh, yeah.
I require this one. The dongle. The dongle in my hand.
The term dongle could mean anything. This is why I hate that term. Because you said I require the dongle. I'm like, so what do you need? You know. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the show. We were on time, and it's 15:44. So I'm just gonna say that's it. We're good to go. My preview has gone down to about 144p. So you know that's cool. I'm assuming that
kind of does that.
Yeah, I'm assuming that we're not actually streaming at 144p. Oh, capture, of course. Yeah. Wait, there's a show? We've got a show for you today. It's the most show ever. It is the show ever. And yeah. Right, okay, focus, Graham, focus. Right. Yes, so we've got some stuff to tinker with today. Firstly, I'll say now, just because loads of people are going to ask. They're going to be like, "What happened about that motherboard last week?" I have RMA'd it, so yeah, the customer now has a working computer, and the old motherboard has been sent back. So it got RMA'd is the short answer there. So that is all sorted out. But yes, this week we have things to play with. So we've got first on the docket is. This motherboard here, this Gigabyte X670 Gaming XAX, possibly a version whatever. This is one of the faulty ones we had a while back that was faulty.
It's the faulty one that was faulty.
Look, this is how you know there's no script. Anyway, so yeah, and it has. I received it back this week from repair, and it has been repaired. Quote the paperwork on it. I opened the paperwork to see if there'd be any information on it, and the paperwork said, repaired. Okay then. So we're going to find out, basically. So we've got a chip to put in it and some RAM as well, so we're going to find out if it actually works now. So yeah, we'll see if that's any good. Caradog has bought the most SSD ever. Yes. Which had both of us laughing when we looked at it earlier on. I'll grab the bench cam in a minute just so people can look at it and witness its glory. I'm not going to say anything else. We'll just show you what it looks like first, and then we'll go from there. Where did you share? Did you share a picture of it in the exclusive chat? Okay.
I have shared nothing.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll grab the bench cam then, and we'll show it before we explain anything, and you guys can tell us what you think is wrong. So yeah. So we're gonna. So this SSD, other than what we're going to show you, is what is it? The cheapest Gen 5 SSD you could find?
Yes.
Yeah, it's made by AData, and it's the cheapest Gen 5 SSD that Caradog could find. Purely on the interest of, is the cheapest Gen 5 M.2 SSD actually any good? Genuine question.
Yeah, also just like, could you tell it wasn't a Gen 3 drive?
Yeah. Because my guess is that it's going to just do like, I don't know, 2,000 megs per second or something like that.
Don't know.
And like the interface is theoretically capable of 10 gig. Is the drive going to do 10 gig? No. You know. So yeah.
Who knows? Find out in the next half hour. Da-da-da-da-da.
It's true. Anything could happen in the next half hour.
Yes.
That's a Stingray reference for people who don't know. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a shit SSD to look at, maybe. I'm sorry, that was unfair.
All right, thick what?
We have a questionable SSD to look at. So once we've set all of that up, I've got a racing wheel with a broken pedal set, and the brake pedal on this doesn't work, apparently. So I figured we'd have a look at that, see if we can see what's wrong with it. I don't know if it's going to be fixable. I don't know if it's going to be worth fixing. But I figured we'd have a look and be like, oh, that's what this looks like on the inside. And
It's definitely the most wheel.
yeah, it is an wheel. But this is the thing, though. Like, even a cheap wheel is not particularly cheap. So they're worth looking at, I think, because I can't see a world where this is less than £100, this set. And that means that if I can fix it for 60 quid, it was an economic repair.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yes, time for cheap Gen 5 NVMe science. It's true. Thunderbirds, you're close. Stingray. So yes. Da da da. What kind of wheel is it? It is a wheel.
RWO, maybe?
HORI. Hori.
Yes.
And on the front it says Racing Wheel Overdrive. I don't know what that means.
Ah, yes.
And it has a lot of play in the stem. It's not an expensive wheel, but it doesn't matter. As I say, even cheap wheels are not cheap, so
Yeah.
probably worth having a look at. Let's see. That thing isn't worth more than 50 quid if it works. Come on, it's used. Yeah, but how much is a new one going to cost? That's the thing. Like,
It's the cost of replacing it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much you can sell it for.
Yeah,
It matters how much you can buy one for.
that's it. You know, I mean, I guess the argument is if you can buy a working one off of eBay for 50 quid, then it's not worth fixing because you just buy a working one off of eBay and give that to the customer.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
however, yeah. At any rate, though, yeah, that's the thing is the evaluating whether something is worth fixing is based on how much it will cost to replace it, not what its actual value is per se. $400 or more for this, absolutely not. So yes, and yes, the Graham mug exists. I'm thinking of renaming this to the Smug mug.
No.
No?
The smug.
Oh, or just the Smug? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's kind of a smug face. So yeah, the Smug is real, and I think I might rename it to the Smug. Yeah.
Yes.
And there is.
Sorry. The smug. The smuddy. The smee shirt.
They're not. The other ones aren't smug though.
No.
I don't
No.
know. This is a meme product anyway. Like
The S shirt.
yeah. And yes, there is the desolations of smug. Yeah. Yeah. Is there a Caradog mug? There isn't one yet, but there is talk of making one. I'm probably going to get a Caradog mug made. It's probably going to be Patcher from Emperor's New Groove doing the Patcher face. You know when he's going. That's my impression of the Patcher face. So yeah, that's the idea, and I think that's funny, and Caradog liked it, and so I think we're going to do that. So yes, because at this point, like it will cost me some money to get the art for that mug made. However, other than that, now I have a merch store. I can kind of just put silly designs up there if I want, and if people want to buy them, they can, because it doesn't cost me any. The venture cost is zero.
Yeah.
Except for if I have to pay for someone for the artwork.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I will probably do some meme products. They'll probably I'm going to very deliberately put them at the bottom of the product list, and they will be marked in the description as this product is a joke. But if you think it's funny, then feel free to buy it. You know.
Yeah.
So but that's the plan. So yeah. And in addition to that, yeah, the merch store is still in soft launch, but also I'm gearing up for the launch because we have the long sleeve T-shirts now. That is a sample of the long sleeve T-shirt in green. I've got I've got this green one, and I'm wearing a grey one underneath my hoodie. And again, I'm satisfied with the quality. My only sad face is it's got cuffs on the sleeves, and I prefer an open sleeve to a cuff. So I'm probably going to have a look at the other blanks to see if there's one that has an open sleeve, just because that's my personal preference. But at this point, though, I'm kind of satisfied with the product samples. I'm just like, okay, the stuff is good.
Yeah, as long as you don't select the long sleeve
cheap
T-shirt, which is 100% acrylic. Or something.
That's it. I'm satisfied now that I can create a product on the store, and I don't need to worry about ordering a sample of it. I know it's going to be satisfactory.
It's going to be at least fine.
So yeah, because initially I was just like, oh, I don't really want to sell something without having looked at a sample of it. But having seen several samples now, I'm just like, fourth wall don't sell shit, basically. So yeah.
It's all more than good enough.
Yeah. The model is $50 to $100 on eBay. That's a fairly wide margin, but again, a 60 quid repair bill is still economic in that case. So yeah. Last week you touched on HDDs aging out. Have you looked at replacing HDDs in DVRs? New DVRs are still expensive. I don't understand why. I don't understand why anyone is using a DVR. In short, like at all. Like, it's 2024. We have Netflix and Disney Plus and YouTube and video on demand. I don't actually understand why DVRs exist. Genuinely. Because
then you've got a copy that you control, I guess.
A lot of them are recording in a proprietary. I guess there's going to be some that aren't recording in a proprietary format, but
yeah. DVR Twitch.
Yeah, or you just download the VOD, because that's the thing you can do.
Yeah.
You can just download the VOD.
Yeah. The other thing I didn't think of is CCTV, because the DVR is a CCTV box.
That makes sense.
DVR is a CCTV box.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So replacing the hard drive in that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's certainly doable, although just hard drive failure in them seems to be pretty rare, just because 3.5 inch disk failure is
when
pretty
there's
rare.
Any actual cooling on them.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. It's not something that I encounter.
It's also a case of, in a sense, I'd be looking at doing it before you needed to do it, and seeing if you could just swap the drive.
True, because you're probably not going to find out that it's failed until you want to actually look at a recording and it says this data is not available, and you go, oh balls, it wasn't recording.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also just looking to see whether you can just swap it, or whether it's a more involved process than that, long before you actually need to.
Yeah. So Netflix price ever increasing without the quality increasing. Well, sure, but where are you DVRing from? Genuine question. So yeah, like, where are you getting your content from? So yeah, like you think Sky isn't tinkering with the quality of the broadcast? So yeah. I'm not saying I'm pro Netflix here. I'm just saying that if you have a DVR, you need something to record to that DVR. So what are you recording? It's only as good as the source, and you could just download from the source. So yeah.
DVR recording a DVR whilst it records a DVR.
Indeed. Anyway, right.
Motherboard.
Yes. Let's do this. You're sitting in front of it, so you do that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll grab the bench cam. So we've got bench cam, and then we can look at the funny SSD and laugh at it, and we can start laughing at it while you start building up the board. Excuse me while I hit you in the face with the camera.
Sender. Olympic Shaver Centre.
Yeah, I had a text message saying your order from Olympic Shaver Centre is on its way, and I'm like, what?
Olympic Shavers.
Yeah. Nani?
What is an Olympic shaver?
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick this directly in front of your face so it obscures your face. Because I am good at camera work.
Face.
Buttery biscuit face. Okay. Maybe bring that down a touch and then it doesn't need to zoom and also you can see over the top of it.
Hello.
Although I may have just brought it further down into your eye line. I think that'll do.
This is a motherboard.
Alright, and
it's sellotaped to the cardboard.
Insta360 link. Will any of you buy the new 9800X 3D?
Yes.
Okay, hold that thought then. I was going to say I'm not going to because I've just got a 7800X 3D and I don't regret it because the new one is. I'm not going to say it's overpriced. It is, you know, entirely reasonably priced, but I am not willing to drop another. What is it? $450 or $400?
£450 maybe.
Yeah, I'm not willing to drop another 450 quid on a new CPU.
Yeah,
it is not something I require.
But more likely to be 500 because there's no supply and lots of demand.
Right, hold on, folks. I'm just getting bench cam working. Why have you not inverted? There we go.
Ah, the ceiling.
Up, down. Oops. And up a scooch. I think that'll do it. Okay, right. And bench cam with face. There we go. Behold, a motherboard. All right. Oh yeah. So 9800X 3D. You said yes.
9800X 3D. Yes.
Yeah. Are you going to buy one?
Yes.
Soon?
When they exist.
Okay.
Yeah. When they exist. As soon as they exist. When they are actually in existence. There is no stock. They do not exist in the UK.
Fair enough.
When they exist, one will be mine, eventually.
I think the entertaining way to say this is just like, yes, I really want to buy one. I'm going to pick up a new motherboard and one of those as soon as they're in stock in the UK, and I'm going to upgrade my rig with it.
Maybe.
I see.
It might be an upgrade. We'll find out. With extensive testing. No, we just watch YouTube videos.
Well, have you still got the Intel chip on order?
No, I cancelled that just
Fair
because
enough.
there's still no delivery date for it. There's still no date for it arriving in the country. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. Because like that chip was probably 450 quid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was interested, but you know, and I was interested irrespective of what its actual performance was.
Yeah.
But it's also just kind of a case. It's just like, still don't know when they're actually going to exist.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to be excited for the Intel chip as it is, and given that it doesn't exist, it's even harder to be excited for it. Whereas the 9800X 3D doesn't exist, but also when it does exist, you'll be able to buy the fastest gaming CPU on the planet.
Exactly.
So so that's kind of something to be excited and look forward to. Whereas the Intel, like you said, you'd ordered one. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Basically, like, cool. We'll look at it and we'll play with it, I guess. But
yeah, it was also
who cares?
because the kind of workstation light motherboards were better for the Intel platform.
Fair.
Which was also my secondary interest in it. So,
yeah. I don't think the lines on the motherboard line up. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I think I might have just overcorrected the camera slightly. If I go down a bit.
Have you done the weird...
Okay, right. I need you to pull the camera toward you by like a degree. Okay, that's good enough. I can correct for that now. All right, there we go.
It also requires some keystoning.
Yeah, right. The out of alignment is keystoning now. I'm not fixing that. Shut up.
There you go. Now it's roughly a rectangle.
So let's go ahead and build that up, shall we?
There you go. May I have some screwdrivers?
Yes, you may. All right.
Also, what cooler are you putting on this?
Oh, I had forgotten. I will find something. I'm super annoyed. I've got a spare peerless assassin, but I don't have the AMD mounts for it.
I can't remember where the Noctua AMD mount is.
Actually, I can borrow. Yeah, no, I've got some here. That's fine.
Okay.
Right, I do have some AMD mounts.
Excellent. I'm immediately going to go... Wah!
Oh yeah, here's the funny SSD. Yeah.
The SSD with a SATA power cable going into the back of it to power a tiny fan.
What was it, like 24 millimeters, that fan?
Like a 20... Yeah, it's probably actually like 20 millimeters, but like a 20 millimeter fan. The tiniest of fans.
It was
So yes.
extremely funny because we made jokes about it having a really long and loud spool up,
Yes.
and then it had a really long and loud spool up.
Yes. And it did go...
It is obnoxiously loud. Like, it's not, we were laughing, but like, it is not something that you want in your computer unless you have like soundproof earphones on. It is hilariously bad, and I don't know what they were thinking.
Oh, I see. That spins around like that. How do I SSD mounting? No, seriously, how do I SSD mounting? What? I don't follow. Are you broken?
Ah.
Oh, your SSD mount is broken.
Oh.
See this little
Never
quick
gathers.
release thing? It's one of these, and it should have this little bit of plastic on the top to actually hold the SSD in place.
Oh yeah.
But because it's big and heavy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
On the
I can
bench.
stick a screw in it. I'm not,
Yeah.
not to, also I could just rob one of these spare ones, so yeah, I'm not torn up about that. And spare peerless assassin. Yeah, I had a spare peerless assassin, but which only had, oh, hold on a sec. Oh, not quite. That only had the Intel mounts for it. And then I did another PC build where I was putting where I bought another peerless assassin for that, which was Intel, and I forgot that I had a peerless assassin with only Intel mounts. So I ended up giving a customer another one with the spare AMD mounts just in the case, because I give the spare mounts to the customer. And I'm like, I could have given the one that I only had the Intel mounts for and then had a complete kit, but I gave away the spares. So now I still have just an Intel one that I'm never going to get rid of, because imagine building Intel in this year. That particular customer specifically wanted Intel.
Especially LGA 1700.
Yes.
Although possibly 1700 is compatible with 1851. I don't actually remember.
I think it is, because I used whatever comes with this. So yeah.
What did you? Yes, 1851 is the Core Ultra core socket, the new one. 1700 is 13th,
right,
12th,
yes,
13th,
yes.
and 14th
No,
gen.
I was building 14th gen, so yes, pass in that case.
Yes.
Yeah. Stop giving out spares they will never need. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
And
it seems like a nice thing to do, but you are correct. It's like the customer is never, ever, ever going to use those spares where I could use them. So, yeah. Why does the M.2 cooler require a SATA connector? Yeah, so
For the fan.
yeah, for the fan. But that's the thing is, yeah, it could have used a motherboard fan header, or also like I'm kind of looking at that going, are you telling me you couldn't find a 3.3 volt fan that could have just been powered by the SSD board itself?
Bonk.
Because like a fan that small is not pulling any meaningful current. I'm pretty certain that the M.2 slot is plenty powerful enough to drive that fan, but
You
yeah.
would
Instead, you have this
probably think.
truly. This is a truly abominable solution, and the noise is
kinda
also
sad.
terrible. So yeah. They technically bought the spare mounts, though. Yeah, that's kind of the argument. And also, I like to put all of the spares into a little bag and just tuck it into a hard drive bay in the computer, because I think it's just kind of nice that if you buy a PC, all of the spare fittings are just there in the back.
Yeah.
And it just means that if someone else services that computer, then they'll open it up and be like, oh, I need to fit X. Be like, wow, look at that. Someone put all the spares in the back. How nice, you know. They go pointing outwards if that scans. So it goes,
That way.
yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if that's incorrect, you'll soon find out when you try and line up the cooler. So
Yeah.
I'm going to move this wheel in a minute because it's in the way. I doubt the fan does much of anything. I disagree, actually. When we gave it a quick test, well, okay, so here's the thing. It feels like it blows a decent amount of air through the heatsink. So
Certainly
therefore,
for its size.
yeah. So therefore, I would actually say it's remarkably effective. The question is whether that amount of cooling is actually useful or not. Or whether, like, because, you know, SSDs, they don't need a lot of cooling, they just need some cooling.
Yeah, the Gem 5s are nudging on like 25 watts though.
Oh, okay, fair enough, yeah.
Also, hello, very blown out camera.
Yeah. Are we on auto exposure at the moment? No, we're on manual. I'm just going to auto exposure that. Wow, that didn't go very well. There we go. The compensation was turned down.
There you are.
Yeah, whatever cooling is irrelevant. Yeah, it is true. I mean, that's kind of what I mean, that's one of the things that we're going to test, I guess. But we'll see. Is Gen 5 NVMe actually faster at Windows boot, game load times, etc.? I would say no. Now, I've not seen a test on this in a long time, but I think the best example I can cite is a while back, LTT did a video where they did a non-scientific, but I think reasonably representative test where they had 3 PCs all masked off. One of them was a 2.5-inch SATA, one of them was an M.2 SATA, and the other was an M.2 NVMe. And they challenged various members of staff to play with each computer in turn and try and decide which one they thought had which drive.
No, it goes the other way around.
Sorry. And yeah, and the TLDR was that they could not discern any difference, and I would agree with that because, like, whenever I've used computers with, you know, various drives, again, I've not been able to tell the difference. I think it's as long as the drive isn't terrible, you're not going to see the difference outside of benchmarks. And it only really matters if you've actually got a genuinely crap drive. So the only time you should actually care about drive speed is if you're actually shunting around large amounts of data, because that is going to make a difference. if you're trying to transfer 100 gigabytes from one SSD to the other, you're actually going to care about the SSD being good, because if it's got no cache and the speed drops from 1,000 megs a second down to 100 megs a second after 10 gigs of transfer, suddenly you're going to be sitting around for quite a long time. And you know, there is that old adage that a bad SSD can be slower than a hard drive, and that's actually quite true. That is very accurate. A bad SSD can be slower than a hard drive. So that's the thing, is that's what you actually care about. So no, I don't think Gen 5 NVMEs are going to make a difference for boot and game load times. But if you're the kind of person that moves data around a lot, it is going to make a big difference, because the Gen 5 drives, they're advertising 10 gigabits per second. No, yeah, it's 10,000 megs a second.
Yeah, 10,000 gig, 10
gigs
gigabytes.
a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to double check myself there, because that's 10 gigs a second. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Some of them are 12 and a half, some of them are 14.
Yeah. And so that means that, yeah, if
it's
you're
a lot.
Yeah. If you're shunting around a couple of hundred gigs of video files because you're a video editor, that's massive.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, Gen 3 drive is fast enough for 80% of users. Yeah, I mean, most of the time I fit Crucial P3 drives, which are I think the P3 Plus is a Gen 4 drive, but again, it kind of tops out at about 2,000 megs a second, I think, which is Gen 3 speeds. Oh no, Gen 3 is 1,000 megs a second, isn't it?
I don't actually recall.
Yeah, I forget. But yeah, generally speaking, the only time that Gen 4 and Gen 5 drives kind of make sense is either A, if you really actually want breakneck transfer speeds and you've got the drives to do it, because don't forget, if you want to transfer at 10 gigs a second, you need a source drive that can bring in files that fast as well. And the only other time is that this is the theory, is that if you buy a Gen 5 drive, then theoretically, it's got to be half decent, right? It's got to justify its existence, and that's why I think this test will be kind of interesting, because this is a really cheap brand, cheap nasty drive. But if it's Gen 5, it's got to be half decent, right? So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, basically the assumption of it can't be absolutely trash.
Also, it's not about the transfer speeds. Yeah, obviously, you've also got I/O, because like if you're doing video editing, you're using it for scratch file usage and stuff like that. So you know, these are factors. But that much being said, though, again, you've got to ask yourself, okay, well, what are you doing that actually needs a lot of drive performance? And that is video editing or VMs, basically. I'm not sure. Yeah. Like, hands up in the audience, what else would you be doing where you actually care about drive performance that's not video editing or like VMs or like
problem.
Maybe some other obscure workstation use?
Yeah.
Multiple apps and gaming, I/O? No, not really. Multiple apps and gaming is not that intensive a load. It really isn't.
Frickin'.
So, and again, like workstation use, that's a cop-out answer. What are you doing on your workstation? You know, like VMs, databases. Okay, what kind of database? You know, who uses databases? Maybe, you know, like I'm being kind of facetious here, but also I'm kind of serious. Like actually, like. You know,
you certainly wouldn't want to be using consumer SSDs for that.
Yeah. Databases are more server workloads. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. There are people actively working on computers. Like what? Serious question. Like what? I'm Infinite. Examples. Give me an example. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but like, yeah, no, seriously. Like what?
This to create RAM.
Reservoir modeling. Okay. Like Docker. Okay, so yeah, app development. So I said VMs. Okay, so Docker, that's kind of a similar kind of deal there. Yep. So again, VMs, Docker, similar deal. Million line spreadsheets. Right. So you're an Eve player then, you know. Yeah, so yeah, reservoir modeling. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that is a... I guess if you're doing... Because reservoir modeling, I would class that as simulation. So doing simulation work, I'm guessing that's large data sets that need to be read and written to. So yeah. Streaming too. What, streaming video? At 20 megs a second? Gentrification modelling for Birmingham city centre. All right, fair, yeah. Please wrap the fan cable around.
Okay.
I think that's a no.
Wrap it around. Hold on. It's not long
High
enough.
quality 4K. All right, so 40 megs a second then.
But even that, you're not going to be writing it more than 1 gigabyte per second.
Yeah, that's it. Like, let's take a 4K stream, which is like what? Let's pretend that a 4K stream is 100 megs a second, and you know what? Let's double that just to be sure. 200 megs a second, K. So that's 200 megs a second, and the most basic bitch SSD can do 1,000.
Yeah, I guess it's
So-
whether it can do it sustained,
Yeah.
which is the question.
Yeah.
Which is why you'd need possibly a different class of device, because obviously it needs to write 100 megs a second or 200 megabytes a second forever.
Yeah.
But that doesn't require a Gem 5 interface.
That's it. You know, we're really grasping at straws here to justify this, you know. Maybe a Plex box that's streaming for multiple people.
Yeah.
Sure. Gonna need, you know.
Basically
You got-
anything
you
where
got
you've got
5
multiple
people watching
users.
different movies in the house at the same time. I guess you could be streaming over the internet, but again,
Yeah.
how much are you streaming over the internet? You know,
But
40
also-
meg stream, maybe.
But also just kind of a case of,
Yeah.
arguably, you're also going to hit a similar performance from just 2 drives
Yeah.
and splitting the media up.
Arcane
So
ultra high
even
quality BD has 90 megabit video. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
that's 90
so,
megabits.
Yeah, so
and
that's
we're
90
talking-
megabits. So, like, let's go wild and just convert that directly into megabytes, which is an 8x increase. We're still less than 100 megs. So it's
Your
just, yeah.
Wi-Fi and connector thingies are very pissed.
I see. Yeah, it got put in bent, didn't it? Should be okay.
But yeah, we shall see. But no. Have a heatsink.
Thanks. Yeah.
Have a heatsink.
Yes. At any rate, the point being, I'm not saying that high-speed SSDs are a waste of money. However, the vast majority of users are not going to notice the difference. And like, I think the people who do notice the difference, it's just like, okay, well, power to you, but don't tell me that that's necessary, is what I would say there. I think, because yeah, and like, you know, it can be discerned. Like, you know, I was playing Phasmophobia with some friends the other night.
Oh God.
Yeah. And you know how when we used to play Phasmophobia, you and I, we were always the first people in game. When the loading screen hits, you and I, first people to load the level, and even friends with fast computers were still behind us. So, and like the only reason that's possible must surely be because we had faster SSDs. Because like I was on a 5800X, or even at the time I think I was on a 3800X. So like I had a quick CPU, but not devastatingly fast. So, sure. But also we're talking about, like, we were the first in, and then, like, 3 seconds later, our friends are in. And that was a game that had really wonky loading times. So, like, man, really got to push it to justify this. Really got to push it. If speed isn't what's needed, then what is needed? What's the new frontier? Consistency is the answer there, because this drive, where's the box? This drive advertises. Does it say how fast it might be? Maximum performance read up to 10 gigs per second, 10 gigabytes per second. So this A data reckons it will do 10 gigabytes per second, but will it? So that's the thing, is that if we try and write to, so the interesting thing is on a bad SSD, it'll say that it can do up to 5,000 megs a second. But when you actually try and write, say, 100 gigabytes to it, it crashes down to 100 megs a second, which is pretty crap. So the question is it's about, with SSDs, what you want is consistency. You don't need breakneck speed. What you want is them to be able to do their advertised speeds consistently. But then the interesting thing about this is that if it can burst transfer 10 gigs a second, even if it crashes down to 100 megs after 10 gigs, it's already done the transfer at that point. So theoretically, its race to idle is so fast that it doesn't matter if it can't sustain it.
Depends how many gigabytes worth of data it can sustain it for.
Yeah, so we kind of get some interesting results there.
Power!
Nobody can beat me in Phasmophobia. I'm loading up over DDR5 RAM disk. Finally, a use for 64 gigs of RAM. Let's see. What is the board and why wasn't it repaired by you? Because it was under warranty. And it's an X670 Gaming X AX that I bought. And it was just bonkers unstable. And because it was a brand new board, I just sent it back under warranty. However, they wouldn't give me a refund because I left it too long. They said they had to repair it. So they have apparently repaired it. God, that SSD fan is wild. What are we on? We're on the VGA light, apparently. ViewSonic Gaming.
Gamer.
Is that the one you killed last week? No, that one got RMA'd. This is a different board from a couple of months ago. It cannot be cancelled.
How do I get this to change source?
I don't know, it's your screen.
Right?
Also, everyone can hear the SSD even over the filter. I don't think we have background noise filtering on these mics actually.
What?
Yeah, no, we don't actually have background noise filtering on these mics. So you guys can just listen to the whoosh.
Is there a source on the capture card?
Well, we've got a VGA light on the motherboard, so I think no. Let me just check. Capture card. Capture with face. What are we on, the XR1?
Yes.
Let me just do that, and then that. Activate. I think no, and again, we've got a VGA light on the motherboard, so I don't think we've got video out. Is the fan on the graphics card spinning?
No.
Probably idle at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's just let's hit the reset. And the graphics card fan did not spin, so I have severe concerns about that. I'm going to get another graphics card.
Graphics.
God. Graphics. I hope the 1060 hasn't.
Oh, there
we go. It did something. All right. Capture
FTPM PSP corrupted. Oh no.
The CPU has changed. All right. I almost want a speaker making old HDD sounds to drown out the fan. I'm going to put on a noise filter for y'all. Noise suppression.
BIOS has been reset. Okay.
There we go. That should kill a bunch of the noise. You might still hear it when we're talking, but that should kill a lot of the background noise. All right. Cool.
Oh, that's load optimized defaults.
So the last behavior of this motherboard is that
Hey.
it would post once and then it would have a world-class hissy fit and not work until you like BIOS reset it and stuff like that. So yeah, if we get like a couple of boots from this and it can successfully boot a Windows install, then it's working basically.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what they did to it, what the actual fault with it was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can still hear you talking. I love you too, Sai.
Banned from channel. Now you can't hear it.
You really did cut the sound. Noise filtering is amazing, and like this is the low quality noise filter. I use the low quality one because it still lets through some desk noises. If I put on the high quality one, that cuts all the room noise out, which can be very good if you've got background noise you need to get rid of, but it also kind of makes it very isolated and not as nice. I'll do the comparison since we're having this conversation. Hang on a minute.
It booted.
If I go that, and I go that, there we go. This is the high quality noise filtering. And now you'll probably find that it just sounds like we're not in. It sounds like we're doing ADR now. You should find that there's no desk noise. So, yeah, this isn't the NVIDIA filter. This is just the built-in OBS filters. I think the NVIDIA one has very similar capabilities, though. Yeah. So yes,
I found that it it sometimes distorted the voice instead of letting through noise.
It's very aggressive. Yeah. I don't like it because it's so aggressive. But if you actually had like background noises that you just really needed to get rid of, then you might want something that's that aggressive.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I could use it to get rid of like the hot air station noises and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I want those in the video.
Yeah.
And like, because at one point I think I did do 1 or 2 videos with the high quality filtering, but the lack of desk noise I actually found unpleasant. I want people to hear the tinker of the screwdrivers and things like that because it sounds real. Otherwise, it just sounds like a pre-recording, you know. That fan is awful. It's so bad. It's all we can hear. It sounds like it's taking off.
I'll be back in a second. So I'm hoping those copies are finished.
Okie dokie, yeah.
So I'm just going to slap stuff on here.
Yep. It might be worth grabbing just some random video files off of the YouTube rig as well, because then we can try shunting, like, I don't know, there might be 100 gigs of video files there, and that would give us a large volume of data that we can push about. So yeah, RTX voice is great, yeah. I don't use it myself because the OBS filters are good enough, but it is very good, yeah. I don't think the RTX voice and RTX video stuff is worth using unless you're using like all of it. But yeah, I don't think it's worth using for one thing. But if you were using it to like do background removal, like you were using it for video background removal and voice cleanup and everything, I think that would be useful. But yeah, I don't think it's worth it for just one thing. NVIDIA Broadcast, that's the one, yeah. Strong noise filter and you sound like ADR voiceover. That's exactly what I don't like, yeah. Oh, does it all sound weird because there's no background noise? Yeah. See, That's the trade-off, man. It sounds weird with no background noise. With the twin tower coolers, does it matter if the fans are in push-pull or pull-pull? Let's see. I think it's margin of error, to be honest. I personally tend to do whatever looks more aesthetically pleasing. I think when all is said and done, pull is more efficient. But
the air has to go all the way through
Yeah.
in either direction. It doesn't matter which way it's going, but it has to go all the way through.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you have it on push, there's going to be some spill around the edges of the fan and the heatsink. But if you have it on pull, there's going to be some pull around that seal as well. So I think it's margin of error, basically. I think some people have shown a tweaks. Like, I think, yeah. Because like this is an argument as old as time with water cooling radiators, whether you put the fans in push or pull configuration.
Oh, I see.
And my answer to that is always just whatever fits the computer best. Like either what looks nicer or what is better for mounting, basically. What makes the mounting more convenient.
Yeah.
I don't if there is any measurable difference, I don't think it's meaningful enough to care about.
Right.
You know, even if you can prove a consistent difference, I think the difference is going to be like 1 degree, and who cares?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So yeah, that's to the best of my knowledge. So. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such podcasts as this podcast. All right. Fan won't be needed unless you trash the drive through. Yeah, actually, yeah, I am just going to unplug it because, god damn, I hate this fan. It's getting louder. Caradog, it's getting louder.
Getting louder?
Explain yourself. Why is it getting louder?
I don't know.
I don't know how. Maybe it is thermally controlled. I assumed it wasn't thermally controlled because it's just got a positive and negative wire, but the fan might have a little thermal sensor in it. I might actually turn off the noise filtering and just inflict it on you guys again. Right, we're bringing the noise back, everyone. Welcome back, annoying fan. All right.
Copy to desktop.
Cool to hear. You've got yours on pull to see the RGB RAM. Yeah, see, that's an example of an aesthetic choice, and I think I often have them in the pull configuration as well, just to get more access to RAM. Because also in the pull configuration, you only lose the first RAM slot, which you're probably not using anyway. So yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sure that said something about hamsters.
It's just 5-volt direct. I don't know. The fan changes pitch. It definitely got louder when the computer was restarting. It is definitely changing pitch.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's trying its best to be heard. All right. Cool. I have not been paying attention. Where are we up to? So you've put some stuff on there. What's your plan?
I was just rebooting the computer a couple of times to see what the motherboard did.
Oh yeah,
And
just to check.
Seems like it's doing stuff.
Yeah, this seems to work. What date is the BIOS on it? If it tells you the date. Failing that, what version is the BIOS? And I'll just quickly see if it's up to date.
BIOS version is F32D. The BIOS date is the 16th of the 10th, I think. Yes.
What was the
16th
version?
October, F32D.
F32D. Stand by. Do we know if we've got was this a Rev 1? It says on the side. Yeah, it's a Rev 1. I've forgotten that version again already.
Rev 1.
No, the BIOS version.
Oh, I see. 32.
32. Okay. BIOS. Yeah, 32D is latest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good sign as well. BIOS updated it, so yeah. That's kind of nice. That they actually bothered,
38, 78.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right.
Wild.
We need a teardown of it. Maybe.
Voltage on there. Interesting. No. Hold on. What? How do I... Huh?
What are you bamboozled?
I want to just set the RAM speed manually because that speed won't work.
You could try it.
Oh, there. It's that one.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it just won't because I haven't fiddled with anything.
Fair enough. Ye of little faith. Maybe it can just step up to 6400. But yeah.
Because we're checking a whole bunch of other stuff I don't want to deal with.
Also worth checking if memory context restore is there, because I seem to remember that this motherboard just had a truly awful BIOS that just had no exposed settings. It's a terrible motherboard and I need to get rid of it. I don't know, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to build it up or just stick it on eBay. I mean, I guess I could just keep it as a spare because it's an AM5 motherboard and AM5 is here for the foreseeable future. So, you are terrible and we need to get rid of you. Sigh, you're so aggressive today. Who hurt you? Ba, 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 ba. I think we're in RAM training land at the moment. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, it was you. I heard you sucking through your teeth and was like, is that the fan? I'm going to zoom and enhance. Where's the focus? I can't remember where manual focus is on these. Manual focus.
I'm going to assume that didn't work, by the way the lights were dancing. And it has in fact just reset itself and then gone. Screw off.
And I'm going to...
Whoop.
Oh, it is rebooted normally now. Yep. Didn't even see the postcode lights do anything then. Fair enough.
Ah, the blinking lights.
Also, see the fan has changed pitch. I think it is thermally controlled. I think it's got a little thermistor on it somewhere.
I have no
because
idea.
it's somehow it's getting louder and I hate it so much. It wouldn't bother me if we were like if this was like an overclocking bench setup that we had just set fans to 100% because who cares? It wouldn't bother me. But the fact that I know that is just that poxy little 20mm fan screaming at me. Just stop. Never heard of that RAM brand? This is was this the Patriot or the
T-Create?
T-Create. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know them, but I don't know my RAMs that well either.
Neato.
It's a pity that the 7600X3D is exclusive to Micro Center. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't looked at the reviews for the 7600X3D yet. Have you looked at any material for that?
For 7600, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to check it out just to see if it's, like, I believe that, I think everyone's excited about it because it's an X3D, but I'm curious as to how it fares. Oh, there we go. We have drive temperature. Yeah. Right. It's got a massive heatsink on it, so I think it's going to take ages for that to heat soak.
We shall see. But yes, now we actually have monitoring.
Hi all, with Win 10 updates ending soon, any videos planned for installing Linux? No, is the short answer.
Oh no, it's crashed again.
Oh, interesting. What memory speed are you trying to run at the moment?
6,000.
Okay, yeah.
But it crashed without XMP enabled as well. It just locked up.
Oh, that's a bit concerning.
Yeah.
This is some of the symptoms that it had originally.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very unhappy. If this board is still faulty, yeah. On the plus side, if the board is still faulty, I could probably make a pretty strong point of saying to them, just give me my money back.
Yeah.
Because it's still unstable as all hell.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I first ordered the 7800 X3D from AliExpress, and the first day of me having it was like, I think I might have bought a lemon. This was what was happening. It would work and then it wouldn't work, and then it was unstable as all hell, and it was just really difficult to nail down. This is exactly what it was doing. So I think that motherboard is still cactus.
Yeah.
But yeah, no plans for Linux videos. I don't care, is the short answer. If you have an old computer, then like my advice is, if you have an old PC, then just install a roofless version of Windows 11 on it, because at the moment, to our knowledge, Microsoft are not going to lock out any old computers. So all you need to do is create a Windows 11 installer drive using Rufus, so it just takes out the hardware limits, which is something that you can do right now anyway. And that's generally going to be my solution to this, because if you're unable to run Windows 11, it means you have an old computer, which means either A, you're going to upgrade, or B, if you really don't want to upgrade, then you can just run a Rufus version of Windows 11. And like, that doesn't even require piracy. It just requires you to make an install drive using Rufus, which is extremely easy to do. Like, it's a 2-click operation. It's not anything fancy. So yeah, that's generally going to be my advice moving forward at the moment, I think. It's fine. You can legally demand a refund now. Is that actually how that works, Si? If they have failed to repair it, can I actually say, give me a refund now? Because I'm not actually sure about that. 7600 X3D, Gamers Nexus say it's great value. Yeah, because it's $300, which is not cheap, but on the other hand, though, like, if it is, I haven't looked at where it lands in the product stack, but if it's landing in the top 5 gaming CPUs, then that sounds great, because the 9800 X3D at $450, it's not a cheap CPU. You know, I think for the fastest gaming CPU on the planet, I think that's a reasonable cost, but that doesn't make it affordable, you know. You gave them an opportunity to repair it and they failed, so yes, you can. Very well. Yeah. $480, fair enough, yeah. Maybe it's the T-Create RAM. Well, apparently it crashed while Expo was off, so unlikely at the moment. Where are we trying to boot to at the moment?
Functionally, JEDEC 4800.
Yeah. I'm tempted to say we should just run it with Expo off and actually just confirm that this motherboard works.
Yeah, that's what I've done. I've
just
locked it off on manual 4800, which is the slowest, well, like the second slowest JEDEC speed.
Yeah.
But I've just locked it off on that instead of having it on auto,
Yeah.
for those values, just so it doesn't try and set the Infinity Fabric to 3000 or something like that.
It's still going to be trying to run some timings, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it has to run timings.
I'll rephrase that. If it's a Expo 4800, that's still Expo timings 4800.
It's not. I've just changed the memory timing, the memory multiplier to 48.
Yeah.
So Expo is disabled.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah. XMP is disabled because it's an XMP kit.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's just disabled, and I've just set the multiplier to 48.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, all the same, it might be worth chucking another memory kit in there as a double blind. Not because I don't trust our testing methodology here, but because if I'm going to turn around and say this board is faulty and demand a refund, I want to be sure. Because at this point, they've obviously gotten like a couple of boots into BIOS out of it and been like, it's fine. And it's one of those horrible nightmarish ones where it's just like, no, it's not that it doesn't post, it's unstable, which is the same as faulty, but you actually have to test it properly now.
Yeah.
And obviously someone's put it on a bench, stuck a CPU in it, gotten to BIOS and been like, it's cool, send it. Yeah. It's doing more than it did previously, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
However, it still has the same problem.
Yeah, it certainly seems to.
Yeah. Ba-ba. 7600X3D is moot if you've got no micro center nearby. Yeah, like I don't know how long the exclusivity on that will be, if at all. The other question, of course, is if we see a 9600X3D. Although we're probably not going to see that for the foreseeable future, given... I mean, we might. There might be a 9600X3D. Because, yeah, like the 7600X3D is probably downbinned 7800X3Ds anyway. Or failing that, we might see a 7700X3D at some point. So, yeah. What do they do to repair it? BIOS update, soldering visible? I'm not sure. I might, if we decide that this doesn't work and we break it down, then I'll stare real close at the board and see if I can see any signs of repair on it. Let's come back to bench cam because there's nothing to look at the moment. I love it when my car doesn't have brakes. You wouldn't want to have these pedals in your car then. We're probably going to look at these at some point. So yes. They probably reflashed it, got a post and sent it back. I think so. Can anyone remember that
That's
flash?
Exactly what it
that's
was
what
doing,
it was doing before, wasn't it?
But it's also what it did last boot as well.
Yeah. But again, these are the symptoms that I've been battling with on this board the whole time. Yeah. If we BIOS flashbacks it, I bet it will post. Yeah. I'm going to get the BIOS downloaded for it just so we can flashback and just because I kind of want to do that because when I then call them up and say it's still broken, I want to give them a full breakdown on how to reproduce the fault just as
Turn it on, try and actually use it.
I mean, I guess if it's bricked right now, then no, we're not going to BIOS. Yeah, like, I mean, we can basically brick it on demand at this point. And so we can just say, it's bricked again, mate, you know. And all we did was restart it a couple of times. Like, we haven't messed this about. We haven't tried to BIOS update it. We haven't tried to do anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm slightly annoyed because they demonstrably just have not tested it properly. Grrr. Reinstall Windows. No. Snooze. Unknown brand RAM does not give me any trust, pun intended. I appreciate what you're saying, but it ain't the RAM. However, we've got another RAM kit here, so we'll put another RAM kit in it just for posterity.
Also, like, this is the best overclocking RAM on DDR5 at the moment. So
yeah, I was going to say, like,
it's just a case of
yeah, This isn't
sector.
this isn't pleb tier RAM we've got. It might be an obscure brand, but this isn't crap stuff. Caradog deliberately bought this kit because he did have the new Intel chip on order, and the intention was to get the new Intel chip in and overclock the snot out of it. So this RAM was bought with intention.
Yeah, it's the same reason I, effectively wasted money on a 8200 kit.
Yeah, how's that? Let me just pull the zoom out. Ugh! There we go. Yeah, that's the other kit we've got. That's an 8200 kit.
It's the same reason I functionally wasted the money on that over what, a 6000 kit.
Yeah. This XMP2 RAM and Night Expo, yes, but also we're not trying to run Expo speeds at the moment. We're just trying to get a stable 4800. So, we're not trying to overclock right now. We're just trying to run stock speeds. That's why I was just grilling Caradog, being like, "You're not running tight timings, right?" And he was like, "No, it's just 48."
Yeah.
So yeah. Look at the spreaders though. I know, that's how you know it's fast. If your RAM doesn't have devil horns, what are you even doing? Why are you here? Local Micro Center has a 9800X3D, MSI X770E, and G-Skill Flare X5. How much are they asking for that, Jojo? $730. That sounds fairly decent. I was looking at Micro Center bundles last night when I was talking to a friend.
Unfortunately, it's only a 5200 kit.
Yeah, I was going to say, the 5200 RAM kit is a bit meh. But some of the other Micro Center bundles on their other stuff have been pretty good. They've had 6000 RAM kits in, and it's like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, 5200 RAM is a bit how you doing there. They did have one RAM kit that was really bizarre. Sorry, they did have one bundle that was really bizarre. It was a I think they had a 7600X, a B650 motherboard, and a single 16 gig stick of RAM. And I'm like, why do you have single sticks? I can only imagine that they're breaking kits to do it, but it was a very good price though. If you're building an office box, sure, forget about it. I was going to say that 5200 kit though, that's a bit crap. Yeah. The McAfee logo has devil horns. It's a shield. No. You won't ruin my joke, Si. You like the Corsair Vengeance RAM heat spreaders? Yeah, Corsair Vengeance, that's always been one of my go-to RAM kits just because it passes the wedding test. It looks smart. I quite like the look of this T-Create stuff as well. It's a really smart looking RAM kit.
Unfortunately, it seems to be effectively US only.
Did you import it then?
Yeah, with Amazon.
I see, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Where
we're booted again.
The hell is the Infinity Fabric clock?
Ooh.
Why can I not see the Infinity Fabric? System, I don't care about system.
Can we have bench cam as well? Sorry, I'm adjusting cameras for people. There we go. All right. How did you get it to go in the end? Did you just bully it?
I just hit the reset button and it.
Yeah. All right.
Reset and started again. I'm missing.
It's yeah.
A friggin' F clock.
Right.
Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I didn't copy it. Oh, that's annoying.
Right.
I don't know. Where are you?
Where are you? Right, well, you do battle with that. I'm going to get a Soider, I think. I'm kind of feeling basic at the moment. I'm going to have the Woodhouse. Actually, what's that at the back? Oh, there's a rosé at the back. I've had a taste for sweet ciders lately.
Absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm going to have another. I'm going to have one of the Woodgates.
Disc management.
Would you like a drink, Caradog?
Yeah, thanks.
What do you fancy?
What have we got in there? Have we got a full box of Hogan's?
We have. It's not the Hogan's.
Is it?
It's Honey's.
Oh, Honey's.
Yep.
Have we got a ginger one?
Yeah, I was about to say we got 3 of the Stony Bonks here,
Yeah, cool.
which I know you've been quite. I actually quite liked the Stony Bonk as well. Actually, I didn't think I'd like it because I'm not a fan of ginger.
There we go.
But yeah.
That formatted this
Okay.
time, so that didn't crash. Cool.
I guess we could start blasting data onto this SSD then and just carry on playing with that in the meantime and see if the computer is stable. Because, like, again, previous motherboard behavior, when it was working, it was unstable. And Windows would be like, it would be slow and unresponsive and it would hang and then freeze and stuff like that. So, like, if we're stable in Windows, like we managed to install graphics drivers and stuff like that earlier on. So
Yeah.
again, it's not quite the same.
It's not completely broken.
Yeah,
But
I have I kind of suspect that the motherboard works. It's just a terrible motherboard. I think that might be where we're at, which is very annoying because I can't really refund a terrible motherboard because it works.
right up until the point where it just randomly freezes.
Yeah, so I guess we'll carry on tinkering with it and hope that it keeps randomly freezing. And
Oh, the Wi-Fi thing's animated now.
it always was. That's the I'm trying to get a Wi-Fi. That's the I'm trying to get a IP address animation.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just doing the you've plugged in a wireless device.
No, that's the
function.
I'm connecting animation.
Cool, fair.
All right. You can refund anything if you try hard enough. I mean, if you want to do it for me, Si, you're more than welcome to. Caradog tried to do it when it originally got sent back.
Yes.
I don't have the energy to argue with people. Fine, I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it myself, says Si. Oh, we dropped Wi-Fi. Cool.
And then the Wi-Fi died.
Are you on 5 gigahertz or 2.4?
I'm on whatever it auto-connected to.
Put it on the 2.4 because I think the 5. Oh yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah,
Yes.
it is. Yeah, I was going to say I think the 5 gigahertz network is just busted on my router.
Crystal disk mark.
System clock was 100.6. Maybe force it to 100. Maybe, but I also just, oh God, I hate download sites. Where was I? Yeah. Also, though, like, we shouldn't have to tune the motherboard to make it work. Like, by all appearances, we should just be able, like, on a normal system, you should chuck in the RAM, turn on Expo, and that's it. It just works.
Also, the
Within reason. Okay, I'm just going to let that do its thing. That wasn't so bad.
Oh no! I thought I'd be marginally polite. Give only room ambiance slurping. I accept.
You try other CPUs. I mean, this is a different CPU to the one we were testing with
It's
it last
the third
time.
CPU we've used in this board.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, because the last time when we sent it back, it was a different CPU as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yes, this is the third. They've all been 7800X 3Ds, but it has been 3 completely different 7800
Peak
XTDs.
performance.
So yeah. All right, here we go, everyone. Maybe.
Profile. Peak performance. Disk C. 2 gigabytes. Go.
Might you need to do bigger data sets? Or actually, I don't know anything about it. I don't know.
Me
what
neither.
People,
but
yeah,
the default is 1, and I've changed it to 2. So at the very least, it's bigger than default.
yeah. Gigabyte's fallen into the crapper lately. Yeah, their AM5 boards have not been great. Like the B650 that I put in my PC, that was fine. Oh no. Oh wait, no, that's C drive. That's
which is the integral one. But it's also just the fact of the integral one can pull 1.7 gigs from a 128 gig drive.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. As you do.
This is kind of like when you say, I've got a 1 litre engine. Right. It revs to 10,000 RPM. Okay.
and has 24 psi of boost. Yeah.
Plap. Whoa! What is that? What is that? What's the second from the bottom?
IOPS. Input output operations per second.
Okay, yeah, I don't think. Oh, I don't usually measure that one, so I'm not used to seeing an enormous number there. Yeah, it's not a random read; it's IOPS.
Yeah, it's only 100,000.
Yeah, yeah. That on the default profile that would be random reads, so that's why everyone was going
Hello, let me introduce you to my drive that reads at 100,000.
Wait, no, that is random 4K. IOPS parentheses.
Yeah, and it's measured in operations. This is measured in operations.
Oh wait, sorry. The left-hand one profile is also the peak performance profile. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the same performances.
Yeah.
Same profile.
Yeah.
And this is yeah.
We're not on the default profile. That's why everyone is confused.
Right. Yeah. And this is measured. This number. Is measured in instructions.
Yeah.
I'd stabbed myself with the wireless antenna and was confused as to what I just stabbed myself with. So I was like, an HDMI cable? Oh no, the wireless
Perhaps
antenna.
we'll fold that up before you snap that off in the socket.
I'll snap you off in the socket.
Later. Alright. Almost every AMD you've done has been with ASRock motherboards. Apparently the new ASRock boards for AM5 are pretty good, aren't they? Did we decide that? Did you tell me that, or did I hallucinate that?
I don't know anything about the new ones, but everyone's favourite, cheap as possible AM5 board is the ASRock
Tai-Chi.
B650 HDV M.2.
I see.
And it's
fine.
It's solidly fine at like £100. Huh.
All right. Okay, so the D drive. Oh well, there you go. There's your 9.6 gigs per second.
Yeah.
It said up to 10. Yeah, that's still a pretty big number. I've said it before though. Benchmarks are one thing, real life sustained performance is another. But however, let's test the claimed spec on the box first, which is up to 10 gigs per second, and 9.6. That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
Random 4K, yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's the basic SSD we've got for the boot again? The Integral. Yeah, that Integral one. That's not too shabby, is it?
Right.
Yeah, like For context,
It was £16.
I was about to say the boot drive we're using at the moment is a 128 gig integral drive, which was purchased just as the cheapest M.2 NVMe drive on Amazon or something, just to stick in a test bench. You know, we wanted the cheapest drive on the market because we didn't care. And actually, that performance is not too shabby.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
You're going home, try not to break it. Try not to break your car or something. But yeah, see you soon, man.
Or do break it at the appropriate points to retard your speed. Don't crash.
All right. Write speed, 8.8 gigs. All right. Wait for it to filter that through. How much data have you got on your external drive?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I have very little stuff on it.
I'm going to turn on the YouTube rig and just see if it's got a chunk of data on it that we can move across. Failing that, I'll also turn this on because this will have a bunch of data that we can grab and we can just try throwing some sustained writes at it.
There you go. Done. And according to hardware info, the drive
Right, I've
got up to a maximum of 56 Celsius during that operation.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I guess we could. I guess you could plug in the fan and run the benchmark again and just see what the maximum temperature goes to, and we can just test if the fan is any good.
Yep.
Also, actually, before you do that, do you just want to throw the same test at it again and see if we drop performance because of heat soak?
Can do.
And also move that window to the lower left.
I refuse. It's testing.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Also, no. The best way of screwing up benchmarks is moving the mouse.
Yeah.
Because the mouse pointer update is an interrupt.
Yeah, it's
to everything.
It's a hardware interrupt, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember what I was demonstrating this on. But there was like a 10% difference between not touching the mouse and jiggling the mouse vigorously during the Cinebench run.
Really? No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, not insubstantial.
So, yeah. So far, similar.
Very well. Right, I'm going to nick this. I've got 100 gigs in my videos folder on the YouTube rig, so I'm going to blast that on. This has got space on it, I assume.
Yeah, it's got 2 terabytes.
Oh, cool, yeah. I'll quickly blast that onto this, and then we've got like 100 gigs of data we can try copying in, and we can just see how fast it does it, I guess, because, I mean, this is limited to 40 gigs per second, but that's still pretty damn hot, you know.
Yeah. It's the fastest thing you're going to be copying from externally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had an idea. You know, I was agonising over whether I was going to run Ghost Spectre at home or not.
Yes.
Right. Have we got... Yeah, I can just do that, I think.
No, because that's creating a link. There you go.
There we go. What I thought is I'd run Ghost Spectre on the YouTube rig and run Vanilla at home. And that way I can get a good side-by-side, because the YouTube rig, I'm unlikely to miss anything that is missing, kind of thing, but still get a feel for it.
See, I'd have done it the other way around if it was me.
The problem is that, I guess.
Because I ran the Ghost Spectre 23H2 build on my home PC for the best part of a year.
Yeah.
And it was fine and there was nothing missing.
Yeah.
Because there's still restore there and so on. So if there was anything that I suddenly went, oh, I want this additional thing that isn't there, I just installed it. And it worked.
I mean, I guess that's as good a test as any. But I'm just worried that at some point I'm going to want to play some games with friends or something, and I'm going to say people are going to be like, let's all play Sea of Thieves or something like that, and I'm going to install it.
I mean, as long as you install it before they go live.
Yeah. But shut up. Waiting for a friend. Yeah. Anyway. I'm going to boot it up and be like, oh, I can't join your game. It's just not finding it. And it's going to be like, oh, okay. I don't have the Xbox game bar. Okay, install that. And then that just still doesn't work. It doesn't see anyone online. Oh, you're missing a service because you don't have the service isn't running because, and I'm going to be like, and people are going to be like, well,
oh, yeah, hold on.
And blah, blah, blah. And just, yeah. That's what I'm worried about.
Just to answer the question, the results are very, very similar.
All right, yeah. So
I would proclaim margin of error.
Yeah, yeah. And what's the temperature look like right now?
Yeah.
It's probably drooping again, but
yeah.
It's still at 50. Oh, 61 degrees.
Yeah, and it went up to 61.
It peaked up a bit higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we keep running consecutive runs, I think eventually we'll start hitting some thermals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does kick out heat then, doesn't it?
And,
and it's got a size that, like, the fan is off, but it's still got a heat sink on it. You know, it's not running passive, right? It's not running uncooled right now.
It's not naked like the integral is.
Yeah, exactly. It's not naked. It just doesn't have active cooling. But that kind of proves that, yeah, like cooling is absolutely mandatory for a Gen 5 drive then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So, yeah.
Yes, in here, you run option 10 and option 11, and it installs everything to do with the Xbox game services, and they work.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah. See, I think this is why I would trust Ghost Spectre, because they have solved this problem already, and they've got a natty little script that you can run to fix things that you might actually want.
Yeah, and it's also got all of the other stuff that you can just install from here, standalone, done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like here, there's also like the Microsoft disk benchmark, and I'm going to use it to benchmark disk D.
Ah, very well.
And it's now going to give me these results for having run the Microsoft disk benchmark.
All right, yeah. Random 16 read, sequential 64 read. I wonder what is that? 64 what? I wonder.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd assume.
Yeah. Still, that gave
64 kilobit size.
Yeah. 7.5 gigs at 64 and 5.6 gigs per second, right? So yeah, they seem sort of they seem to be in the ballpark for the size of file for the size of operations they were doing.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it's got stuff like that in there.
Imagine installing the correct version of the game before you play it. Just saying. Shut. You know what you did.
Yeah, and then you've just got like 42. There's a whole bunch of like tweaks and things to modify certain things and like restore or change the right-click context menu and just stuff like that.
That's nice. Yeah.
And to like force tabbing on in Explorer for 22H2 because that was in an enablement update, nothing more. So you can force tabbing or not on 22H2 builds if you're running 22H2.
Yeah, I quite like this.
Stuff like this.
Not because this can't be done without Ghost Spectre, but because they've put a nice little setup all in one place that is tested and works.
Yeah.
Like, these are all solvable problems, but it's stuff that you might be endlessly having to Google for or use a bunch of other random third-party widgets or registry hacks to fix, whereas this is all in one nice little place.
Yeah, and it's like you want the HEVC and AV1 Microsoft extension, 42.7, 1, and then it just goes downloading.
Getting it. I'm installing it. It's done, yeah.
Yeah. See, and it just does the PowerShell deployment.
Nice, yeah. And like, again, obviously, all it's doing is running some PowerShell scripts. It's nothing that you can't do manually, but the point is it's all there and it's nice.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that this is all bundled here. And at the very least on the Xbox Game Bar stuff, it actually does function.
Yeah.
Which was the issues we were having with like manually reinstalling it and manually running the Microsoft utilities to try and fix it. They weren't actually seemingly fixing it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And that's the thing, is just like I saw in another Discord I'm in, someone mentioned someone quoted another. I'm going to find the name of it actually, just in case someone recognises it and goes, "Oh, I've used that" or something, just for some extra feedback. They quoted another alt install of Windows 10 or 11. I'm not sure which one it was. Let's see.
Peak performance. Go.
It was Revi OS, R-E-V-I OS. It's a custom ISO of Windows 10 or Windows 11 that removes all the bloat.
Yeah, not heard
So
of that.
yeah, but the problem is just like, if you install that, there's not a doubt in my mind that it's got no bloat in it, but like, what if it's missing something that you need? What do you do then?
Has that been broken?
Yeah. So
No idea. But that's the thing about the Ghost Spectre build, is the fact that there is the toolbox, which
Yeah.
seems to kind of have integrated lots of this stuff
Yeah.
together.
yeah, AJ says, I
Which
tried
is
downloading
handy.
it, so many dodgy sites, he gave up. Yeah. You've got to drill down through the Discord?
I think you have to go on the Discord now to get the official download links. You used to be able to get them from the YouTube video
Yeah.
descriptions, but I don't know if the new IST builds like
24H2.
24H2 or whatever the latest update they did for Windows 10 was. Because Ghost Spectre released one of those a couple of weeks ago. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's available through like the YouTube video
Yeah.
descriptions, but certainly at the very least the
I'd imagine Discord is probably better because they want to be a moving target because they're distributing Windows.
I guess.
And having a link in the Discord server that changes arbitrarily every other day is a lot easier to maintain than YouTube links. So, and like, you can script a YouTube link, you can API into that and have it update, but like, that's hassle. So yeah, it sounds like joining the Discord and finding the link through there is probably the way forward.
Yeah.
Speaking as someone who has not tried to track it down, but just simply said, Caradog, can you get me the new Ghost Spectre?
Yeah.
So yeah. Very well. Oh God. For a moment, my brain just suddenly been like, what's that noise? And it's like, it's the fan. The fan is back.
Its intensity increases.
Yeah, it is thermally controlled, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So we'll see if it's...
There you go.
I don't think it's actually going to make a difference to the results. However, I think we'll see differences to the temperatures. And like 60 degrees is getting... I mean...
Yeah, see, it's
60C is getting a bit spicy. That's the point where it's just like, don't really want your drive to be sitting at 60 degrees.
Yeah, see, it's basically no different.
The problem is, of course, if it's passive, without the fan, it was pushing up to 60 degrees, which is potentially problematic. Like, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
And the fan is god-awful.
Yeah.
So, to me, that makes this product untenable. Because I would not... There's no planet where I would want that fan in my computer.
Yeah.
So, like, this kills this product. This is a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
There you go, 46 degrees current temperature. Let's pretend that's dropped down a little bit. Either way, yeah, that fan has slashed the... Oh, look, it went up. Yeah, after you turned the fan off, it's actually increased. So, yeah, that fan is extremely effective. It's just awful.
Yeah.
How's my data copy doing? It's done. Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Eject. Right, so we can bash this over the head with a 100 gigabyte copy now.
Yeah, I'm just doing big crystal disk benchmark. So in here you can see it's doing stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then...
Put that there.
Have I gone past it? I've gone past it. Hold on. There. And that's drive temperature whilst it's just doing this stuff.
Fair. Yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting result, is that the fan is effective, but also the fan is arguably necessary because, well, so, okay, if you're not, like, we're running benchmarks, we're running stress tests. That I think what might be interesting is to bash it over the head with 100 gig data transfers and see what the temperature goes to while doing that. Because if the temperatures are reasonable, let's say, I mean, what are we saying is reasonable? Sub 55, sub 50?
I don't know, 60s.
I guess. Yeah.
Because also the fact of, obviously, if it's operating at 60, but it's only there for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
What difference does that make of it being at 40 for 25 hours?
Yeah, plus also, it wasn't really dropping any speed either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's not thermal throttling, then it's obviously still happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Basically, the direction I'm going with this is that I'm trying to ascertain if that fan is actually necessary or not. Because if the fan is necessary, that is a deal breaker for it as a product. Whereas if the fan is if the fan is an enhancement, if you're really bashing the drive over the head all the time,
yeah,
that might be something you do because you've got a workstation. But
yeah,
like, if you're running a gaming rig and you're not actually doing heavy I/O loads, then you don't want that fan running because you're not stress testing your SSD all day, every day.
No, it also depends, because obviously it might be okay if you take off that heatsink and use one of the big motherboard ones. You know, some of the motherboard ones are like this tall and this wide.
Well, that's just it as well. Like that heatsink, it's a little U-shaped channel.
Yeah, like this wouldn't be enough, I don't think, based off of the need for the fan. But you know, the ones that are a little bit wider than this and are about that tall.
Yeah, because that's it. You know,
those ones, just because there's so much more mass.
I think we need to do a teardown on it because that's a little U-shaped channel, and we might actually find that there's very little metal in there.
Yeah.
And that might actually be substantially more metal, and it's enough to heat soak.
Yeah.
You know, we're assuming it's not running a sustained all-day, everyday load, which is
Yeah.
not reasonable in my opinion. You know, but then also, like, again, if you had it in the triple bay, it's got this massive slab of metal on it. It'll be completely fine in the triple bay with the big old slab of metal.
It would also be absolutely...
assuming you're not stacking it up with 3 SSDs.
It'd be absolutely fine as well, because that bay would obviously be limited to Gen 4.
True. Hypothetically, I suppose, yeah.
But yeah, even running this, the temperatures didn't do much, and that
Yeah.
was running for a reasonable amount of time, so it seems to be fine.
Yeah. I think in a moment we're going to do an actual file transfer test now, and then I think we should do a quick teardown on it and actually have a look at how much metal there is there. And I guess we could take the cooler off, stick the motherboard stock one on, and just see how well that does, and just see if that actually matters. Because that would also be kind of interesting if the stock motherboard heatsink is good enough, or maybe it'll even be better without fan, kind of thing. So yeah. Right, here comes 100 gigs of data.
Right now it's actually 14 gigs in a single file.
Oh, what are you transferring?
A film.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, not, yeah, I put my videos folder on there, which is 100
Yeah,
gigs.
but
However,
this is-
oh my
this-
god, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah. Oh no. That was just 14 gigs.
Yeah, this is the total of 14 gigs.
Where's the bottleneck? Bring up there, Task Manager or something. Yeah, like, this isn't the source drive. This isn't the interface. What, like? I mean, the USB drive is reading 100% utilization.
Yeah.
But I mean, we might need to pop out that SSD and put it in a bay to confirm
I was going to
that.
say we'll do that in a second.
That's actually worth spending the time to do.
See, the speed's just ticked up at the final sector as
Yeah.
well, but we'll see.
Yeah, because like, that was 14 gigs. That wasn't even a big transfer.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to do 100 gigabytes because I thought at 10 gigs per second we would actually need 100 gigs for it to actually matter. So we start out at 500 meg. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. We're pushing up. 1400 megs per second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I
that's
don't know.
fine. What
Interesting.
happened then?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Don't know.
Yeah.
But that's obviously also just kind of the inconsistency with part of this. It's just
USB
yeah.
limitation. We're on. What are we on? 10, 40.
It should be
gig?
20.
20
Yeah,
gig Type
should-
C.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not. Well, we're not bandwidth limited.
20 gigabit,
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. How does that work out?
which works out
Oh,
to
about
2 gigabyte.
Yeah. So and we're getting
Yeah.
about 1.5. So that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's roughly about right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the enclosure should be able to do 4 gigabyte.
Yeah. Still, that didn't tank down that time. And like
No.
transferring files at 1.5 gigs per second, that's pretty respectable, to be honest. Because also that's a single operation, and you know it's kind of like the internet. It's not about the total download speed. It's also just simply about.
Yeah, and copying to itself, it's
Oh yeah,
doing 2 gig,
yeah. It's
which is obviously a read and write operation to the same drive.
yeah, yeah. It's also about just how much it can do at the same time, which is also a thing. So
And it hasn't died after 40 gig.
yeah, the fan is off. What's the temperature of the drive at?
Yeah. Hurt. 2 fingers scrolling the wrong way. Oh my god. Ah,
Caradog, please.
there you go.
Drive temperature
52.
52. Yeah, no, that's not going to be throttling at 52. That's kind of cruising at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it just finished up, so yeah, but yeah.
So certainly at least for 100-ish gig transfers.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, so what might be an interesting test now is
How big is that? Yeah, 94
Yeah.
gig.
if you grab like half of that folder, like 50 gigs worth, and copy it onto C drive, and we just do a C to C transfer as a point of comparison or something. Yeah, there's 60 gigs of data. Yeah, there'll be enough. Yeah, that should do. So yeah, we'll compare that.
Oh.
Oh,
I have to copy
okay.
less. Because it's 128 gig SSD.
Yeah, but like Windows is what, 50 gigs? Oh yeah, no, 120. Yeah, no.
So 60,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. How fast is it deleting all of Graham's videos? You delete them from here, it removes them from YouTube. It's a Windows issue. Boot Linux and it will run faster. That's not what we're after here. And also, like, I don't care if it runs faster in Linux because I don't use Linux. Like, I'm not asking for 10 gigs per second in Windows. What we're looking for is if it's catastrophically bad in Windows. Like that first transfer we did when it crashed down to 100 megs, that's what we're looking for. That's a problem, you know. So that's what we're trying to ascertain here is, you know, we're trying to measure drive, like I say, I'm trying to ballpark the consistency. That's 62 gigs again. Have you considered actually looking?
Oh, because I just deselected all of the folders and I thought the folders were a lot of the space.
That's 35. That's probably good enough for a test.
There you go.
All right, so we're copying to C drive now, and it looks like that has... Oh my God. What's it doing? Oh, it's coming back up again. Keep the numbers visible.
There you go.
All right, so our C drive just died. It's coming back a bit. The integral is doing a bit of a struggle. It's not terrible, but it is struggling. So, like, remember how we did the crystal disk mask on the integral drive, and it pulled 1700 megs a second, and we were like, hey, look at that, that's not bad. This is why benchmarks are deceiving, because we're copying video files here, which is a pretty good case scenario. These aren't annoying tiny little 100 kilobit files. These are big sequential files, and it's not awful, but it's really coming and going. It is definitely cashing out and struggling a bit. That's really fast. The graph is misleading. I mean, it's bouncing between 100 and 300 megs a second, and sometimes it dips to 50. Like, yeah,
well, at points it's crashing down to less than 40.
Yeah, that's the thing. That, like, don't get me wrong, that big chunk at the start of the graph, that obviously it was never going to hold that speed. But right now, yeah, it's now struggling for 100 megs a second. So yeah, we are at hard drive speeds right now. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
What's the per core usage like when copying the folder on a Gen 5 drive?
On this, I'd imagine reasonably.
Yeah, we've got a 7800X3D in here, so I don't think we're going to see much of interest there.
Yeah, we'll probably see a single thread it. High 70s.
Is File Explorer still single threaded? I thought they'd fixed that now.
I don't know, but it's just a case of I expected the single thread to be high 70s.
I mean, we're only at 100 megs at the moment, so it's not going to be doing that now. But yeah, we could look at that on the A data in a moment. So yeah, is it getting hot? That's a good question. What's the drive temperature on the thing? Because we're at 0 now.
Not really.
60 degrees. Yeah, keep the graph visible so we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's thermal throttling at 60 degrees. I think the cache is just bollocks. Hit it with the heat camera. It will show a 60-degree blob. But yeah. Yeah, this doesn't tell us much except that integral is actually a bit shit, but like that's a surprise to no one. The only valuable information here was just proof that 1700 benchmark that it did doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the moral of this story here. But also, I think doing I think what we've discovered here is the integral is not fast enough to use as a point of comparison for the A data.
No, but it is kind of proving the point.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
This is what a bad drive looks like, but we can't use it as a point of comparison as to whether the A data is actually decent or not.
We'll see what it does in reverse on reading from it. Because in theory, that shouldn't make any difference.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the sensor is bad and it's overheating. No, there's no reason for that. Like, I mean, I'll do the touch test because if it's over 60, it'll burn my finger. Okay, I'm not going to lie, that burns my finger. Yeah.
I expect the controller to be hot. But
yeah, that feels like high. Well, 60 is enough to burn your finger, so yeah, fine. I'm getting the camera. See, yeah, all right. So this is one of those times where I'm just like, that's stupid. That's not the answer. But I'm like, actually, you know what? Let's actually test it. So hang on a sec. Can we swap places a moment? Ta. What? The top of the controller is cold.
Yeah, because it's reflective.
Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah, no, I can't get the controller itself. However, adjacent to the controller, where it's not reflective, it's high 50s. So that 60 is entirely plausible. So yes, it is 60, it is not lying. However, yeah, 60 burns the back of your finger. I thought that would be... I knew 60 was going to be like you can't keep your finger there for long, but I didn't expect it to actually be like ow, ow kind of thing. So yeah, always good to know. I know that sounds like a really silly thing to say, but something that is a really good thing to remember when trying to gauge heat.
There you go.
Ah.
That was 3-point-something gig at the start.
Yeah. Okay, a little bit of a bounce back, but...
So yeah, this will need to use another SSD, but the point is obviously reading off the integral, it doesn't die in the same way. So read operation, it's purely write operations that are the issue, which is kind of what we already knew.
Yeah. And also, yeah. Fair enough.
But, yeah.
Okay. I vote we stick the drive you've got in there then. Yeah. So what drive is in there again?
P3?
Okay, yeah. Well, P3 Plus.
I don't know, it's a P3 or a P3 Plus.
It's probably a Plus if it's in that enclosure. But
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we'll find out.
Whatever I got.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a P3 Plus, that can do 3.5 gigs per second.
Damn it.
Anyway, yeah, what I was about to say is...
yeah, it's just a straight P3.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so what I was saying is, the touch test is interesting because whenever you're wondering if something is running too hot or not, doing a touch test is good because if you can keep your finger on it, then it's, it's 50 or less, basically, which is kind of handy to know.
There we go.
No cash either way. Why not P5? Because it's more expensive.
Because I bought a P3.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go bench cam.
What's still running? Oh, the platform is still on.
Oh,
Weird.
did you shut it down and it just hasn't shut down or something?
It has not shut down.
I see. That's slightly concerning.
Yeah, it's just not turned off.
I hate this motherboard so much, but
yeah, just get a refund. It's faulty.
I mean, what do? Just send it back and say what? And say what?
Crashes in Windows. Because we've had that happen at least twice.
I guess.
Doesn't turn off properly.
Yeah. That's the problem. Is in my opinion, if you're going to demand a refund, you have to quantify the fault. Is that a 1050? No, it's 1060. Could be a BIOS issue. Well, that's the thing.
Well, if it is, it's been updated between at least 2 different versions.
Yeah. The motherboard is a rabbit hole.
And you've off-board programmed it, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It is from Amazon, however, it's third-party seller through Amazon. It was an Amazon warehouse deal via a third party or something like that. But the point is, they're not offering returns on it. If you try,
I don't know how it could be the RAM or the video card when we've used 4 different kits of RAM, 2 different GPUs.
Oh yeah, it's the motherboard. Yeah, it is.
I don't know what evidence you have to even make that guess.
Yeah, it is a known questionable motherboard, and all the other hardware we have is known good because it's 2 brand new kits of RAM, a known good graphics card, and a known good CPU, and a known good power supply. So yeah. Do I actually need to make them for you? Unironically, Si, yeah, if you want to do that.
Make what?
Make them refund it.
Oh, I see.
Because I don't have the energy for this kind of thing. That's the problem. And that's a me problem, but just, yeah. It's just something that I hate dealing with this kind of thing. I hate dealing with it when it's simple. You know, when it's just as simple as just sending something back, I hate doing it. Let alone when I've actually got to argue with someone and convince them. That's why I prefer to that's why I want to have a quantifiable reason. So that way I can just go in, this is faulty because of X, Y, Z. And then I don't have to have an argument. Whereas, you know,
Okay. What?
Could be the RAM is too high clocked. No, we're at 4800.
Also, 3 different kits of RAM.
Yeah.
Huh? How does copying a folder?
Yeah. Reason, it's broken. Solution, refund.
What?
We'll see, Si. I mean, they might turn around and go, you need to send it in for repair.
Weird.
All right. Okay, right. What are we doing now?
Copying from the P3 onto that drive.
All right. Okay, it's done that weird thing where it fell over again. Is it going to ramp up again?
I mean, it's still doing half a gig a second.
I mean, that's not very impressive, though, to be honest. An MX500 can do half a gig a second.
Yeah, but it's just a case of it's still doing half a gig a second, and when it fell over the other time, it was doing 6, and then 100, and then 4.
True. I mean,
so
like,
it's just, I don't know what's
Oh.
going on here. Yeah, 'cause the driver timed out as well from
Oh,
AMD, and
God, yeah.
something is
Oh,
just
it's
muck funky.
It's possibly the platform, basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
Yeah,
appears that
okay.
just something
Invalid test,
is
yeah.
broken.
Okay.
Ah, there you go, and it's locked up again.
I've just spotted the folder name.
Oh,
the bottom smashing folder name, yeah.
well, yeah, because I needed it to not match anything else that was already on the drive. Yeah, there you go. See, something else had just crashed and fallen over in the background.
Yeah, oh, I've just realised that we didn't have the capture up. Sorry, folks.
So yeah, because now it's doing a reasonably sustained 2 gig.
And that 2 gigs is probably the P3's limit, because I think the P3 tops out at about 2 gigs.
Why would trying other RAM make any difference when we've already used 3 different RAM kits?
Yeah.
Why would a different video card make a difference when we've already tried different video cards?
Oops.
Yeah. The display driver in the background keeps crashing.
So we don't have an AMD card in there at the moment, and AMD software is crashing. But like, that's not something you see on a normal computer anyway.
Yeah, wild. Well, it's got an integrated GPU.
Oh
from
yeah, it does,
AMD.
doesn't it? Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
something is broken there.
Okay, so question. All right, let's refocus for a moment.
Oh, excuse me.
We can do some more tinkering with this drive. Although, to be honest, I think the drive is doing okay.
Yeah.
It's not a, like, this isn't a showstopper drive, but we didn't expect that because it's the cheapest Gen 5 drive out there. It's not that great. I would rather have a Gen 4 ADATA drive, which is probably going to do very similar performance, but without the heat output, would be my guess. Or failing that, the heat output was acceptable anyway because it topped out at about 60. So I feel like we've learned all that we reasonably can from this drive from a messing around on the bench test. So the question now is, are we going to start dicking around and seeing what the hell is going on with this motherboard? Or are we going to say, screw this, let's take some pedals apart?
Aha, there it is. Bonk. There you go. No.
Yeah, that placebo modded ISO is Ghost Spectre, so it makes minor differences, but also we've had conversations about this, so yeah. Yeah, the Windows event log will be spamming errors because we're seeing errors, but those errors don't tell us anything. The errors in the event log will say AMD driver crashed because that's what's happened on the screen. So, which is kind of the problem with the event log in general, is the event log tells you that something went wrong, but you know something went wrong because you were there when it crashed. So, event log is more helpful if you're not getting visible errors. Or like you're getting a blue screen that's too fast or something like that. In this instance, we know that it's a driver crash, but that doesn't actually tell us anything because like we don't have a faulty graphics card here. We don't have a faulty CPU because this is known good hardware. The motherboard is the known sketchy part of this. And when you've got a faulty motherboard, you can get just all kinds of wacky stuff going on, which is kind of what we're seeing here. So like error messages and logs don't really tell us much. The only useful part of that is potentially just how to reproduce the fault.
Ha, I've gone too far. London.
Try reducing the mounting pressure on the CPU cooler. That's not a terrible idea because, yeah, that can be a thing.
But also we've done it with just a perch cooler on there and had the same issues.
In the past, but not today. But the problem is, the issue is we don't really have great fault reproduction at the moment. This is why I'm hesitating as to whether to continue with this, because part of me kind of wants to persist with this to explore this fault. But also, this is going to be a rabbit hole. So, yeah. Event log was indispensable. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that event log is useless. I'm just saying it doesn't help us right now. The event log will tell us that the AMD driver crashed because a message came up saying that the AMD driver had crashed. That's why I'm saying it doesn't help us right now. Okay.
It doesn't shut down properly either.
Yeah, that's the second time it's done that, isn't it? Yeah, it's not turning off. What an annoying board. Yeah. Like, again, I think I don't care and I'm going to insist that they refund it because it's unstable.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my fault description. It's just the board is wildly unstable. And this is not to mention the fact that we couldn't get it up to XMP or Expo speeds either.
Yeah.
Like, we've kind of ignored that fact. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. Sod this motherboard.
I was going to say, I am going to give that another cycle now and simply just see if I can enable slightly higher speed.
Okay. Yep.
And if it falls over in exactly the same way, it falls over in exactly the same way.
Very well.
And we have reproduction.
Okay. Right. While you tinker with that, I'm going to quickly download. I'm going to try and find the software. I'm going to see if there's any Windows software for this steering wheel for Windows, so we can look at the steering wheel input, and then we can see if we can diagnose why this brake pedal doesn't work. So yeah. All right. And one more time, it's a known good CPU. We've got 2 new RAM kits. We've got a known good graphics card, and we've got a known good SSD. It's trusted hardware we have in there.
And this is the 3rd RAM kit.
Yeah, and the 3rd different CPU that's ever been tried in this motherboard as well.
Yeah.
Like, there is 0 evidence to support this being anything other than the motherboard. I would be willing to entertain loosening the cooler, because that is a thing that can cause problems. So we could do that for science.
But it's also the
However,
fact of we've used at least 2 different coolers. One of them had no mounting pressure at all because it was just rested on top.
yeah,
So if there's a mounting pressure issue, it's got both not enough and too much, and still is an issue.
yeah,
And if the motherboard has faults with an AM5 cooler being mounted to it, the motherboard is faulty because it's a CPU cooler cooling a CPU that
yeah.
it's supposed to be compatible with.
And also, the times when I've had mounting cooler pressure issues, that's been when using like AIOs and stuff like that. I've fitted like 5 or 6 of these Peerless Assassins, and I've never had issues, ever. They've always worked first time, which is not to say it's impossible, but again, just there's no evidence to support any of these theories. So yeah. Reflow chipset? No.
What evidence do you have that reflowing anything will do anything?
No.
What evidence
Just
do you
no.
have that solder is broken?
Yeah.
What?
The motherboard is crap. I'm sending it back. Right. Yeah. It's a gigabyte. Get rid of it while you can. Well, this particular model, like I said, the B650 gigabyte that I've got in my system at home now, that's been great. That's been fantastic. It's just this particular motherboard, this particular model seems to be a complete lemon.
Yeah.
And you know what? And like, the alarm bells were ringing when I bought it from Amazon warehouse, and it was bad. I think this motherboard has probably had about 5 different owners, and they can't get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah, because it's probably faulty and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm kind of getting annoyed with it because the more I think about it, the more I become aware of how much of my time this motherboard is wasting, and I'm like, why am I like? The problem is, it piques my curiosity, and I'm like, I want to explore the fault, but also I'm just like, no, fuck this motherboard, you know. So yeah, nope. All right. Okay. Right. Let's talk about steering wheel, everyone. Where did I put the steering wheel? It's there. So HORI. Can we discover more about this? Carol's going to carry on tinkering with this in the background, so we'll keep getting information. You voided the warranty.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. All right, we're going to have a look at the heatsink on it as well.
That is too big.
HORI Xbox wheel. Oh no, that's a headset. Racing wheel.
Oh. Cool whip.
In before it takes 30 seconds to get a return agreed. Yeah.
I was going to say it didn't last time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I just kept looping round to it's faulty. You have supplied me something faulty. Give me a refund.
Yeah, I'll
and they just weren't.
I'll send you my Amazon login, and we'll see this as a challenge because I believe in you. I believe in your Karen abilities. I believe in your ability to out Karen Caradog with Amazon support. So I'll send you the Amazon login, and we'll see if you can do it.
Wait, is that an actual just RAM chip?
Probably. Let's have a quick. Can I have a ganders?
That SK Hynix one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean that's the
Wild.
DRAM cache.
Yeah, I just didn't expect it to be a separate standalone SK Hynix chip.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a separate standalone Wohung Lo chip.
Yeah, I mean, that's when something has a DRAM cache, that's literally what they mean.
Yeah. No.
But,
I'm just surprised it's from a brand I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I mean,
I expected it to be Wohung Lo, special out of the parts bin.
But then also when SK Hynix probably make like 90% of the DRAM in the world or something like that, you know, that's not unreasonable. Yes, sorry. I was perceiving what you were doing, and I was like, why are you putting it in there? And I was like, sure, I guess.
Because I can. Because I want to.
All right.
Because I'm going to see what it does.
Very well. Okay. Oh, right. Hang on a sec. Racing Wheel Overdrive, designed for Xbox Series X, Horror UK. That looks good.
Because I want to. All right, Billy.
You don't get to do that on your own joke.
I do. Who the hell's going to stop me?
Let's see. Do you have any problems with AM4 and G-Skill RAM? Bought a new 64 gig and it's causing memory issues instantly. Is it a 2-module kit or a 4-module kit? Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be. You know, like G-Skill is fine. If it's a 2-module kit, again, you should be fine with that, to be honest. Also, like, what speed is it as well?
Also, any brand can have faulty modules.
Yeah, like, it's not impossible that you've just got a duff kit, you know. If you're running a 4-module kit, you're going to have a bad time. But if it's a 2-module kit and it's not unreasonable, yeah, dual 32 gig kit. What speed as well?
Bloody stupid.
Because also, like, again, if you're trying to do
4,000.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what DDR4 speeds were. Yeah, if you're trying to do 4,000, then yeah, that's going to be a bit sketchy. 3600 C18, that's not ridiculous. Yeah,
it's nothing overly fancy.
Yeah. What CPU and motherboard have you got?
Fucking dead, Jim.
Huh? Oh yeah, it's actually kill now. Replug the power supply.
I mean, hopefully it is completely dead.
Sometimes don't you wish that that we were just a really rich YouTube channel, so I could just go off the bench with the whole lot. You know.
We could be, but every one of you would need to like, subscribe, and share. Also, don't forget to ring your bell. Wait.
Ring my bell, ring my bell, my bell. Da-da-da. See, you did musical references, so I get to as well. Anyway, Tough Gaming B550M Plus. That should be all right. Yeah. Does it work without XMP? Like, if you just run it at stock speeds, is it okay? Yeah. Let's see. Can I get Windows drivers? I don't know. However, because it's an Xbox thing, I can probably just plug this into the computer and it'll probably just work. Right. You
can fund this channel and look cool by buying merch.
Possibly. No, it has problems even without DOCP. Okay, yeah. And I take it if you plug in other RAM, that works fine. If you put... Okay, so at this point, put in old set of RAM, run memtest, it works. Put in the new set of RAM, no XMP, just stock speeds, JDEC spec, run memtest. If you get errors, it's faulty RAM, basically. Yeah. So yeah. Using the same sockets, you currently have 2x16 gigs and it's running fine. Yeah, I would run memtest just to get a quantifiable result, but it sounds like you've just got a duff memory kit. It sounds like just faulty RAM. And as said, that can happen with any brand. It's kind of like with everyone saying, oh, Gigabyte are crap because this motherboard is bad. It's just like, I mean, you'll forget when everyone was shitting on MSI. You'll forget when everyone was shitting on Asus.
Wild.
Just stop having brand loyalty, people. Any brand can be faulty. Everyone's got a really short memory and just loves to hate on whatever's in front of them, you know. Can't even run mem test. Oh, I see. Very well. Yeah. Yep. Like, remember when everyone hated MSI for strong-arming a YouTube channel and everyone was boycotting MSI? Remember when we were boycotting MSI? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, that's awful. Gigabyte, no.
Yeah, like, I know I'm kind of being bitchy about this, but it kind of annoys me when people are just like, oh, never Gigabyte or never this brand kind of thing. Like, Caradog and I mock Asus a lot, but we do that, like, well, at the very least, I'm kind of sarcastic and ironic about that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Asus high-end stuff, but, you know, this is the thing, is when everyone says they're boycotting a brand, I'm just like, your memories are short. They really are. BioStar is an option. Anytime someone brings up BioStar, it just reminds me of that that time Gamers Nexus were doing a news video, and they said, "Oh, there was a event for motherboard manufacturers hosted by Intel or AMD," and they said, you know, oh, Asus were there, Gigabyte were there, MSI were there, ASRock weren't there, but for some reason or other, BioStar were there. We're not sure why, but they just seemed happy to be included. You know, I was like, wow, savage, you know. Right, I'm just going to plug this wheel in.
I bent it.
Oh, that bit's cosmetic. Oh, there's a decent amount of metal on that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Stick that under the camera for posterity. Bench cam with face. There we go. So yeah. Hold on a sec. Let me focus. We're on manual focus at the moment, so we go to there. There you go. You can come up close now. There we go. So there's the heatsink with the fascia removed, and if you turn it on its side, as you can see, it's not just a U channel. There's actually there's a modest amount of metal there. Like, there's some open bits in the middle, but that's not bad. I kind of expected it to be literally just a U channel.
Yeah, and then
That's just cosmetic, yeah.
Stickied on top.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a suspicion. I don't think we would have got meaningful performance increase from the other motherboard heatsinks. Good job. I mean, that could be fixed, but whatever, you know.
I'm impressed that it's at least double-sided, though.
Yeah, it's getting the back of it as well. That's not bad, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Just coming back to Minitam's memory issues. Don't have a spare motherboard to try to test with and stuff. Yeah, quite frankly, it sounds like you have a bad memory kit. Like, if you're you're running at stock speeds and it doesn't work, and another memory kit does work. My interpretation of that is you have faulty memory. I can't see any other read of it than that at this point. You could do lots of tests to try and figure out. You could try putting in the sticks one by one to see. I mean, if you want to, you could try the sticks one at a time to see if one of them works but the other doesn't. Because if you found that one of them works but the other doesn't, that would also give you a pretty solid result of this stick is faulty. And you still send the whole kit back. So that would give you more information. And that's what I would do personally. I would try the sticks one at a time in order to discover that information. However, at this point, I think the answer is already pretty clear that you have a faulty memory kit. In which case you send it back, basically.
No, don't stop, step.
So yeah.
Shove it. Frick
It doesn't look well designed error-wise, it's just a lump of extruded junk. Yeah, but that's what most heatsinks are, quite frankly. Skiving is expensive. Okay, right, so I plugged this wheel in and Windows has recognised it as a wheel. Let me just see if I can get some...
I plug this wheel.
I'm going to see if I can bring up like a test for it. Gaming, game bar, game mode.
Gaming!
Device gaming. Let's see. Racing wheel. Remove device. Okay,
yes.
can I... Device and printers, sound settings.
No racing wheel.
Isn't there a way to bring up like the control panel for a controller, like the legacy control panel for a controller on Windows 10, and just see the raw output from it? Let's see, control. Hardware and sound. USB game controllers. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I just can't remember where that is. For when there's no thing. What are you giggling at?
Just the files, the data files for this program were called big file.
I see.
They're just called big file hex code. Big file hex code.
Big file. I see. Racing wheel. Look. Jonathan Wass. Xbox gaming device. Driver, events, change settings. Nope, I'm going around in circles here. Yeah, I mean, I got it in devices. I just can't see how to get some output. See, if I right click on it, I can get to properties, but it's an unspecified thing. Windows doesn't really know what it is. It's just seen as an Xbox gaming device.
If you click properties,
we just go around in circles. Device and Bluetooth. Yeah, hang on a sec. Let me just let me adjust some things. Let's give a desktop with face, and let's do bam. Nope, bam. There we go. So we've got this here. That's Bluetooth and other devices. We get nothing here. I can't right-click on this. I can only remove it. It's just other device. In control panel, device and printers, we've got this unspecified device here. I can properties that. And I can properties it there, but it doesn't get me anywhere. Change settings, and we just go around in circles. So yeah, I got nothing really useful there. Basically, all I need is, I just need something that shows me, that shows me when buttons are pushed, so we can verify the functionality of it. When you right-click, it should get game controls, but it doesn't. What if... let's see. Windows racing wheel test software. Wheel tester. That sounds really good.
Nope.
Okay. Gamepad tester. Oh, I wonder if you get hardware. I wonder if that can do it. Connect your gamepad and press buttons. No. Let's see if this is any good. I like that it actually has a ship's wheel. Right, are we actually on Microsoft.com? Yes, good. Just before I install a virus on this computer. For reference, this is the wheel in question, this one here. It's the Hori Racing Wheel Overdrive, designed for Xbox Series XS, Xbox One. That's what we got.
The hell is the difference?
Just take the foot pedal apart and see if there's a loose wire. That's a good idea. I'm going to see if this works. If it doesn't, that's exactly what I'll do.
Don't you hate it when sometimes the motherboard options are utterly esoteric?
Aha. Hey, look at that. It works. Cool. All right. So, right. Throttle. Brake. Wah, 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 wah. Best repair channel on YouTube. Best repair channel on YouTube. Well then.
So what about all the other buttons?
I guess we'll test all the other buttons. Okay, right. Left shift, right shift, LSB. Oh, that does brake as well. Interesting. LB, RB, RSB. That's throttle. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So it's mapping the throttle and brake as the analog trigger buttons, which kind of makes sense for an Xbox controller. So yeah, cool. Okay. Obviously, steering. Wow, it's only got 90 degrees. Fair enough.
Not even that.
Yeah. Well, the wheel itself goes past 90 degrees, but it only measures 90 degrees. Fair enough. So yeah, it was mapped wrong in the game. They're using it on an Xbox, I assume. So yeah, D-pad. Yeah. Face buttons. Yeah. Menu. A file button. Don't know what that does. Oh, that's some kind of mode button. Lights are changing on the front of the wheel when I do that. And the share button doesn't do anything because we're not on an Xbox. And that's about all she wrote. There's a mode 2 as well. What happens if I switch to mode 2? Oh, that does nothing. I wonder if that is... Oh, it's setting it up as something else now. I wonder if that's direct input mode instead of Xbox mode or something.
It says Racing Wheel Overdrive for Xbox Series X is set up.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what the 1 and 2 button is. It's a PC mode and an Xbox mode.
Where was Device Manager? There you go. So what's connected now?
Oh, see, now it's appearing as a gamepad.
Yeah, and then it...
That gamepad wasn't there previously.
Series X. Oh, yeah, and then the disconnected
Yeah, see, that's disconnected now, yeah. Yeah, so...
Oh, I see.
Okay, hold on a sec. Can I... see now, let's... gamepad tester. Maybe it's got a PC mode and a... Ah, see, now it's being seen as a gamepad. That's kind of neat. I like, I'm struggling to think of what you would use that for, but now it's seen as a gamepad. That's kind of cool.
For games that are a little bit too dumb to work out what a wheel is?
Yeah, if the game doesn't recognise what a wheel is, or if it doesn't have actual wheel support, then that pretends it's a gamepad. That's actually really cool. I like it. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. However, the fact still remains that this is fully functional, so I'm going to call this a skill issue and tell the kid to get good.
Shake it around a bunch? The actual pedal box?
Yeah. I'm a child. I'm sure that came over the microphone. I was not kind. And it's fine. Yeah? Although, interestingly... Oh, the brake, you've really got to stand on it to get it to a full 1.0. But that's still, that's going up to 90% utilization there. That's got to be good enough, though. So, yeah. I'm cool. Yeah, that's a really bad game. Courtesy laugh. I'm calling that no fault found. I was about to say I hate our show, and then I was like, and I wasn't sure if I was going to say I hate this show sometimes or I love this show sometimes, because the thing that was supposed to be broken and we were going to fix is fine, and the thing that was supposed to work is not fine.
No. Quite.
That looks very not fine. What have you been up to over there? Just while I consider my life
just seeing
decisions?
if we could walk up the ramp speed again without it immediately dying.
Okay,
and the answer seems to be yes.
Yeah. Won't most games let you calibrate too? Yeah, I would expect so. Open it up just in case. It might break. I mean, I'm kind of tempted just to take the bottom cover off and just have a look. just because I was kind of curious as to what's inside a pedal box like this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the screws off and just look.
Yeah.
Like, I was not kind when I roughed it up a bit there. I was pretty brutal with it on a hard tile floor. So, like, there's not a doubt in my mind that it's not an intermittent fault. So, yeah. Bet it's the spinning part that's broken. They said it was the brake pedal, very explicitly.
The spinning part?
Like the force feedback,
Oh.
I'm guessing, yeah. I don't know if there's... I don't think there is a way that we can test that without having a game installed, and I'm not going to download a game because we won't get anything fast enough. So, yeah. It'll probably not work when you screw it back together again. I'm just going to look. In and out. Just going to look. And I'm not doing a firmware update on it because it's not broken. Get the kid in the studio to test it. Maybe. Okay, right. Let's do that, and do that, and do that. All right. I'm going to unplug the pedal box. Oh, actually, I tell you what. Hold on. Hold on a diddly darn moment. I'm going to put it back into wheel mode.
Wheel.
This app is kind of cool, actually. I like this. If I was signed into the Xbox, if I was signed into the Windows Store, I would actually give this a 5-star review because this wheel tester app just works. It is exactly what I needed. Right. Brake. I'm just going to tug on the wire. No, even pulling on the wire, so it's not quite, so it's... I'm wobbling the wire around and it's got no issues. Actually, though, hold on. Okay. Okay, hold on.
Holding.
That's not what I wanted. That. Desktop. Minimize.
Wheel.
Okay, so check this out. So we're on the wheel testing app again. We got throttle, right? Here's the brake pedal. Now, I'm just going to hold on the brake pedal and I'm going to wobble the wire. Oh, it's not doing it now.
Up.
Yeah,
Shove it.
no. But then also we're only hitting like 75%. And that's not 100%. I don't know. This was a factual statement. Shut up. Look, when you've got to provide commentary on everything you do, you just say, you just speak.
It's only hitting 75%, and that's not 100.
Well, am I wrong? All right, hold on. The problem is when I'm jiggling the cable around like that, it's also just, well, I don't know. I'm going to open it up and see what's inside.
What's in the box?
Yeah, and I'm going to grab that screwdriver and take out these screws on the bottom.
Extreme. Fix your friends. They'll appreciate it.
Translation, I need an excuse to take this apart. I think I should at least have a look. Like, if we open it up and we find there's half a can of Coke in there, then, you know.
It's still not turning off.
Fine, I'm going to get a prying tool.
Bloody thing. troubleshooting.
How do I into the pedal box? Am I going to have to take these rubber feet off the bottom? There was 2 screws that I've taken out. Oh, might just have some real heavy clips in there. I think I'm going to have to take the feet off the bottom to have a look. I don't think there's going to be screws under these feet. No, I'm not gonna rip those feet off yet. Can we see what you're doing yet? I will show stuff in a moment. At the moment, there's not much to see. I'm just basically prying and going, I can't figure out how the hell this thing opens because I cannot get it to budge at the moment. I'm attacking it with a prying tool and it's not budging. Oh. This... Oh, that's just the... Okay, that's the footrest. Hammer and a chisel. Well, pretty much, yeah. Oh. Is there anything else on this? No. I think I will. I'm going to start taking the rubber feet off the bottom, see if there's something hiding under there.
Ha! Shit! Got it! Shivered it! Ooh, 3.
Ah, there are screws under the feet. I'm being punked. I hate products that do this. Like, it had 2 exposed screws, but it still put screws under the feet. Like, either hide all the screws or don't hide the screws. Pick one. HP tactics, exactly. Yep, that one as well. What are you giggling at?
The memory multiplier goes up to 120. So it's like, yes, I would like to run my RAM at 1200 mega transfers.
It's future-proof, Caradog. Future-proof. Oh, that went in the box. Hold on, everyone.
We're going on an adventure.
Ooh, I'm back.
Ooh.
Well, that was me going, am I going to bang my head on something on the way up? Right.
I sound like a Zelda box opening noise.
Na 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 na, bonk, out. Oh, it's going to be all of them. Why?
Why are you like this?
Ah.
Oh, apropos to absolutely nothing. Have you seen in your explorations of Fourth Wall that you too can have your very own holographic stickers?
I think I'd spotted that they had stickers. There we go, right. Activate your windows now. I refuse.
But if you need to activate your Windows, you can buy a key from gamers-outlet.net using my special affiliate link.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't pushed that much because they didn't get back to me when I tried to get a sponsorship out of them.
So?
I did ask for like $600 though, so, you know.
So? Just keep shilling the affiliate link.
Yeah, that's true. I should do that. If I actually do that and actually get some affiliation up, they might actually reply to my emails.
Indeed.
I should have just replied to them and said, "Don't you know who the hell I am?" I'm a big deal on YouTube.
I'm Tony Stark. Wait. In a box of scraps.
Yeah. On the subject of sponsorships, though, is I was having this conversation with Caradog, but I'm in talks with JLC to do more stuff, and I know you guys don't care about Slime VR. Don't worry, I'm not doing more Slime VR. However,
What I am doing.
yeah, I am looking to do more stuff with JLC, and I think that's probably I'm negotiating for ad integrations, but what they want me to do is more just product videos. And my plan for that is to bring back the Let's Build Electronics series, which I used to do years ago, where I would buy random soldering kits off of Banggood and put them together on stream mostly, and sometimes video.
Very well.
Ministry of Silly Walks coming through. Hello, Pianov. So yeah, and so the plan is that I would take the JLC contract and I would hopefully get some video integration ads for monies, but also probably once a month I would do just a build video. So I say, let's build a custom keyboard, let's build the open source transistor tester project, let's build and that's where I need you guys' help, is if I did that, I'd need people to feed me ideas of just stuff to make, because yeah. So yeah, I want to crowdsource that and basically just be like, you guys give me ideas, like find cool projects, find nifty things for me to build. So yeah, okay, this thing is actually opening up now. We're getting somewhere. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to unplug that input cable and well, I'll get the camera lined up. Let me get the camera and show you what we're looking at. You sound like Keir Starmer. Build, build, build. We're building a brighter future for tomorrow. Sponsored by JLC PCB. Interested in more Let's Build vids? Yeah. As I say, we just need stuff to do, basically. You could do Arduino builds. Maybe, but bearing in mind... that the main objective would be that the product needs to involve a PCB somehow, and like obviously an Arduino board is a pre-made thing. So the idea is that it would need to involve some kind of custom PCB. So I mean, I guess I could solder my own Arduino to that, but yeah.
Very well.
I'm going to cross across in front, and I'm going to steal the bench cam. Could you just check what view we're on at the moment? I think we're on Capture Desktop at the moment, which is annoying because that's why no one can see a damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm a genius.
Hello, face cam.
Right, I'm just going to put that there. Everyone was just like, oh, we can't see. And I'm like, I'm not going to move the camera. But what they meant is that we're on Capture Desktop. Sorry, folks. Need to release a reminder of video streams on main channel for second channel. I guess I should probably do that because I haven't done it for a while. But yeah.
I mean, you should just do a sponsor spot in every video.
Yeah, even if it's just me. I mean, I could start doing that because I've got more to talk about, what with the merch and things like that now. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Insta360.
What are you? You are Q-Flash.
Yeah. Right. Bench cam.
Bench cam with face.
Yeah. Hold on to your lunch, everyone. We're going for a ride. Bit more. Oh, too far. Too low.
You have to go to a different website for that.
There we go. Branching revenue streams, everyone.
I don't need to know about your branching streams.
Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Building a multimeter. Sick of the ones on the market. Interesting. Make a goal and build something that you would need. That's the problem. I don't have any ideas for that. The only idea for something that I actually need at the moment would be I kind of want to build the original open source transistor tester, because I've got a Chinese knockoff one at the moment, and people have always said, oh, this is a rip-off of an open source project, and I kind of want to do a video where I actually go and find that open source project and be like, let's make the real thing, you know.
Let's build
computers. Right, okay, so here's the pedal box, accelerator, brake. And so things of note.
In theory, the brake should have less travel.
Yeah, the brake has less travel, but also we still want it to go to 100%. So the brake does have less travel. It only moves by a few degrees. Like, there's actually very little travel on it at all. A USB isolator? That's kind of neat, yeah. That might be an interesting thing, yeah. As I say, these are cool ideas that I need, yeah. All right. So, it's got a little turny thing there. So, right. I thought that might be an issue, but I realised now looking at it, that's the throttle one, because that's not really plugged in very well. That's not it. There's nothing really to see here, if I'm honest. We opened it up to look, and I'm looking, but there really is just nothing to see here. I guess the best I could do is clean the contacts on the potentiometer here. Is there something wrong with it? Well, the brake pedal was only getting to like somewhere between 80 and 90% at full depression. But I don't know. It does work though. I think in order to get that out, how stiff are those springs? Not devastatingly. Optical or potentiometer? It's going to be a pot. I can't see a world where a kit this cheap is going to have optical sensors in it. I'm going to get a pair of pliers before I try and wrangle those, otherwise I'm going to lose a finger. Oop.
Yeah, there is finally some life.
Oh, that's one. And two. Right, that should probably push through now. Yep, there we go. And now that can slide off. Ah, okay. And I'll disconnect that. There, right, okay. Let's put that there. Right, that's got a lot of turn on it. I hate to say it, but I'm beginning to consider Lead Farmer's idea of calibration and firmware for that, because like that has a decent amount of turning in it, and it feels healthy. It like I'm turning that. There's no scraping. There's no indentations on that. It doesn't feel worn out in any significant way. So it might be worth seeing it might be worth seeing if there is any kind of like adjustment or calibration that can be done with that might alter it.
Ouch.
Ultimately, I have a suspicion that it's just bad. I think it's just pretty crap, to be honest. What I'm tempted to do is I'm tempted to swap it with the throttle pedal. Although I don't think that would actually achieve anything, because I don't think this is worn out. Yeah, side just came with the same thing. It is a pot. It is a potentiometer. It has 180 degrees of movement on it. It's an R103 to be exact.
Ah.
Okay. Is the brake pedal travel supposed to be this short? I mean, it's doing that by design. There's nothing blocking the pedal. So yeah.
Other than the casing.
Yes, but again, that's there by design.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, the casing is specifically designed to block the range of travel.
Yeah.
I meant to say.
Yeah.
I just forgot to half the words.
All right, I'm going to put this back in because we've proven everything we can. Right, let's put that on. I'm kind of tempted to bail on this just because, you know, I was told that the brake pedal doesn't work, and I don't know about you guys, but I think that brake pedal works.
It certainly looks like it.
Yeah. Now I need to figure out which way around these springs went. Oh, I can look at the other ones in a sec as well. Oh, the other ones are different though. Right, sorry while I just wrangle this back in place.
Do not even try.
Right. Right, that's not going to hold anything. Oh, hold on. Oh, this is so awkward because you've got to hold it all up in place. Right, I've got to figure out how the hell those springs just went. Right, those springs were locking in there. How do those sit? They sit in... Let's focus on this one for a sec. Right, the pedal is the correct way around. The pedal goes down there. And the spring latches onto the thing itself, so they do go that way around. Okay. Yeah, okay, so the springs are going to do that. There we go. That's the action. So I had it correct the first time around. I just doubted myself. Ba, 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 ba. Get in there.
No.
There we go. And sit. There we go. Right, that is in place. Now we just got to bend those springs back down again. All right, and and oh, whew. Ow. Good. Cool. All right. Not particularly exciting. Not really anything to see. I'm going to put it back together again and see how it behaves. Then we'll have a look and we'll see if there's anything we can do in software. But I don't know. I'm as much of a cop-out as it is. I'm kind of inclined to bail on this job because, or at the very least, I'm kind of inclined to call the customer and be like, can you be a bit more specific about what the fault was? Because I plugged it into a PC and it didn't look faulty to me. It looked absolutely fine to me. Because it's a waste of time. Yeah. It was worth a look because, like I said, we could have opened it up and found half a can of Coke from where someone spilled a drink over it a month ago, and it was all gummed up. In which case, sure, you know, we could clean up all the mechanism, but I can't see a problem with this. So yeah. Right. If you can't brake enough, you might complain that the brakes don't work. That's exactly it. But I don't know how it behaves in game. Whoop. Here we go. Right. Well, this has, once again, been a somewhat disappointing stream. The SSD was interesting, though.
Would the potentiometer for the brake pedal go in any different rotation?
No.
Okay. So you couldn't rotate it by, like, you know, 3 or 4 degrees, kind of.
To move it to a different point of the travel? No.
Yeah, okay. Because I was just wondering if it kind of had shifted or something.
Yeah.
So what was calibrated as 0 was actually 5, and what was
Yeah, I get what you
100
mean.
was now 75.
Yeah, no, it did not seem out of place. I think possibly swapping it over with the throttle potentiometer might be an interesting thing to do. But I'm slightly pained to do that because, at least not without talking to the client further and being like, okay, tell me more about what was actually wrong with this, because the brake pedal seems to respond.
Yeah.
And like, let's face it, with a kit of this magnitude, like, you're not doing competition racing here. I'd wager that a kid using this set is basically just doing brake on, brake off, throttle on, throttle off. They're barely even feathering things, you know. So I don't think it actually matters.
It's fine, you can sell them an upgrade.
Unlikely.
Would you like a Fanatec kit? Be unlike official ones, it'll have fast delivery.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay, right. I'm going to plug this in and just make sure it's not completely broken.
And then, if it is,
then I'm going to scream, and I'm going to have another week where the comments utterly annihilate me for breaking stuff. When I see family tomorrow, I will immediately complain to my mother and say the YouTube comments were mean to me.
Mother!
Star Destroyer 69 said I was shit at soldering.
It's me. I am the comments.
Okay, right. Wheel. Okay, that's still plugged in. Let's have our desktop with face. All right. Yeah. Cool. Right, that still works. Throttle, brake. Huh. Oh, did you look at that?
Okay, fixed it. Best repair channel on YouTube.
That's a result. Like,
Right, unplug the connector from the back of the wheel and plug it back in.
yeah. Unplugged. So throttle and brake are now not working. Wheel still responds. Because, like, I assumed that there would be some kind of serial encoder in the pedal box, but it is literally just 2 potentiometers. So there's literally just 2 positives and 2 minuses, you know. Charge 70 quid, run away. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why I sat there turning the pot back and forward, just to loosen it all up. So, yeah. It didn't feel like there was anything there, but maybe there was just dust on the tracks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, plugged back in. Oh, it's sulking now. Okay, right. Let's just check. Carbon build up on the pot. Yeah. Oh, the whole wheel is now sulking. All right, hold on. I'm gonna. I'll just quickly switch it to gamepad mode because that causes the thing to restart. No wheel detected.
No, my ticket list.
Gamepad tester. Player 2, fine. Right, that works, and throttle and brake. Notice how B6, that's giving us 1, that's 100%. Previously we were struggling to get that past 75.
Yeah.
I was having to stand on the pedal to get it up to 80 kind of thing. Yeah, I'd call that a fix.
Yeah.
60 quid, thank you very much, goodbye. Right, let's just flick it back to position 1 again. Okay. Wheel, throttle, brake. Yeah, that it literally just needed a bit of scrubbing and cleaning. There we go. That was worthwhile. Yep.
It required years of experience to know what required scrubbing and cleaning.
Yeah, well, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to call myself a genius. However, this is why I said, let's just have a look. This is exactly why I bothered to take it apart. I said, well, let's just look at it. You know, I've said this in some of the easy repair videos. If you don't look for the low-hanging fruit, then you're never going to have it. So yeah, always clean your tip. Absolutely. All right. I retire undefeated. Good. All right. Well, that's a success. Unlike this motherboard, which I hate with every fibre of my being, and I'm now going to challenge Sai to send it back. And if Sai fails to get a refund, then he'll be the laughingstock of us next week.
Yes, precisely that.
Yeah. Buy stuff. Thanks, Sai. The merch shot is still in soft launch. However, I'm reasonably confident about it now, and it's unlikely to change much before the official launch. So yeah. All right then. Cool. I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
I too have enjoyed this conversation in English.
Yeah. Did you have any further luck with that? You were stepping up speed, or?
It did the 6,000 equivalent of XMP fine.
Okay. Got there in the end then.
Yeah.
Have you just shut it down?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have just saved and exited the BIOS.
Fair enough. I was going to say, if you've just shut it down, then it's not turning off again.
However, there is still a fault because it won't turn off.
Yeah, just straight up won't shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to plug in a different
Whack.
power supply, and then we'll absolutely, categorically, every single box ticked for, it's the fucking motherboard.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll do a couple more tests just because, yeah, like, I mean, if it absolutely won't shut down, then that's also just a really good smoking gun that we've got as ammunition.
Yeah.
To use as part of the refund thing. Because that is, like, if it doesn't shut down, that's a fault, basically. And we can just say, cool, it does not shut down.
Aha.
There is your fault right there.
The fastest RAM speed you've ever seen.
3800. Is
Yes.
that DDR? Or is that...
That's 3800 memory clock, which is
Wow.
doubled.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's...
7600. It's
Yeah,
7600.
so you're at
MT.
7600. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I was going with that.
Yes.
Damn. Not bad. Has it just crashed, though? Oh, no, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There was a flicker, and I was like, was that it crashing? You know?
Yeah.
All right. Right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'll tell you how it all went next week, I guess. See you all soon.
Write lots of angry comments in the comment section for engagement. Engagement challenge, go!
Tell me that my beard sucks and it looks like a dead rat or whatever. Okay, I'm probably going to be on Twitch tomorrow playing Darksiders. However, I will be seeing family and I won't be back until a bit later, so I might not be live and I might be late if I am live. So be there or be square. I'll stick an update in the actual chat. So if you show up at 7 p.m, there'll be a message in chat. I'll either be live or there'll be a message in chat saying I'm not live. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Been a nice conversation.
Thank you for being here. Ta-ra.
Daniel Ayres said my beard sucks and it looks like a dead rat.
Good. Post that in the comments once this video goes up.
Okay.
Copy and paste everything to everyone. All the engagement challenges. Engage.
Bye.
10,000 views.